guys, you heard it there. Florida won the toss. They've deferred. Georgia will take the football to start this football game. Scott, you know, gator meat doesn't taste very good, but I'm really hungry. How about you? Let's get it on.
Well, it's a good point. Georgia on offense has the opportunity to do that first as Mecole Hardman bounces back towards the end zone to our right as the deep receiver for the Georgia kick receiving unit. And it'll be Evan McPherson, a freshman from Fort Payne, Alabama. Used to be the sock capital of the world. Fort Payne, as he'll kick it away for the Gators. That's just useless knowledge.
That was wonderful. I actually liked it.
Comes from a lot of outlet mall shopping. Giving too much information about myself. It was fabulous. All right, Florida will kick from left to right as we watch down here at from the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth inside the stadium here in Jacksonville. Today's first half broadcast presented by Ambetter. Better is taking charge of my health. All right, Gators put the ball in the air with the opening kick, long and end over end, high kick going to come down deep in the back of the end zone for the touchback as Hardman walks away from it, and the Dogs will have possession first and 10 at our own 25. Southwest Airlines has low fares from Atlanta to over 90 destinations you love. A destination for Georgia right now would be the end zone on this opening possession as we just get underway.
No doubt about that. This Florida defense has shown a lot of man-to-man this year, single safety, a lot of faith in their defensive backs, especially their cornerbacks, and want to shut down the run game. See if they start it that way here.
Holyfield starts in the backfield, lone setback. Fromm will work from under center. Jake hands it to Holyfield. He runs it right guard, straight ahead for about 4.5, maybe a full 5 yards. Adam Schuler, defensive tackle, graduate from Longwood, Florida, makes the stop for the Gator defense, but the gain is 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Dogs just past our own 29-yard line.
Yeah, didn't look like a whole lot there on that play. Holyfield in his strength, though, just got in. Initial contact was a yard or two downfield. He just bowled his way for another 3 or 4 yards.
Holyfield, leading rusher for this Bulldog team this year as he approaches 500 yards for the season. We run a man in motion. Godwin to the near side, trip receivers this way. We set up a receiver screen, throw it to Holloman. He makes the catch behind the line of scrimmage, up the near sideline to the 34-yard line. Hit hard by David Reese, the linebacker, and knocked him out of bounds on the near sideline. But Holloman with the catch, and they'll put it at the 34-yard line. It'll make it 3rd down and 1, a gain of 5 for the Dogs.
Well executed play there by both teams. Georgia, we locked up on both cornerbacks on the outside. Gave a little bit of a crease there for Holloman to go. Well defended by the Gators as well. Got us into a 3rd and short. Very makeable 3rd down yardage.
2 tight end set with Herring in the backfield. We're just going to go with a quarterback keeper. Fromm, it was just power on power, and the Georgia Bulldogs got the edge there. They surge well across the 35 to the 37. Fromm following behind that big offensive line for a Scana Energy 1st down. Lamont Gilliard, Solomon Kinley at center and left guard, opening a little bit of a crease for Fromm just to glide right behind him for the 1st down.
I'll tell you something unique on those quarterback sneaks that we're doing is we're taking both of our big tackles and they're circling behind Fromm. So you've got those 2 guys pushing behind Fromm, who's behind the guard and center.
Holyfield takes the handoff, spins away from Joseph, bounces out near side, 40, 45, 50, and into Gator territory at the 49-yard line. Voshan Joseph, the leading tackler for the Gators, couldn't wrap up Holyfield in the backfield. Holyfield bounced away to the near sideline and was knocked out of bounds by C.J. Henderson on this near sideline, but it's another Scana Energy 1st down for the Dogs as they invade Gator territory at the 49-yard line, a gain of 14.
4 yards after contact. So far the story, that's a very positive thing for Georgia. Florida making contact right at the line of scrimmage, but can't bring down Holyfield.
Cook is in at one of the wings. Here's Holyfield straight ahead, hesitating, looking for room. One of the Gators has lost their hat. It went bouncing away. Meanwhile, Holyfield running downfield inside the 45 to the 42. Jawan Taylor, a reserve safety, had to make the stop in the Gators secondary. And it was Jabari Zuniga, one of their terrific pass rushers, that lost his helmet. He'll have to exit the ball game for 1 play.
Boy, huge block right there by Solomon Kinley, and the Dogs just flexing their muscle early on here.
Gain was 7. It's 2nd down and 3. Another run play. This time Swift trying to bounce outside with a stiff arm. He's got room. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, far sideline. line.
Boy, it's been a while since we've seen that kind of an explosive play in the running game, but the Gators had 11 guys essentially 10 yards from the football. We get the edge, bounce that thing outside. Nice block by Ridley on the outside as well to spur that run, and Dogs knocking on the door early.
23 yards by Swift, a stiff arm for Joseph and a stiff arm for Dean, and then it was Taylor that had to make a tackle. Another Scana Energy first down. Dogs on the Gators 19-yard line on this opening possession of the ball game. 1st and 10. Motion man comes this way. Handoff Swift. He stumbles a little bit, gets to the hole, and still stumbles his way down to the 15.5 or so. Adam Schuler makes the tackle on DeAndre Swift. Even a stumbling run like that will go for about 4 yards, and the Gators have a player down, shaken up at the end of the play near where the tackle was made. It might be Schuler as the player who was shaken up. Ball's on the 15-yard line. Dogs with the ball. They've called a timeout here in Jacksonville. No score. First possession of the game. Dogs driving. Back in a moment. Bulldog Sports Network. We're here in the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth in Jacksonville. First half broadcast presented by Better. Better is taking charge of my health. The Dogs working in the Massey Ferguson red zone. Experience the compact utility tractors that will take you through the season strong. Georgia 2nd down on the 15-yard line. C.J. Henderson was the injured player for the Gators. One of their starting cornerbacks, C.J. Williams, is in the ball game now for Florida. 2nd down for the Dogs at the 15. Handoff to Holyfield, looking for space. Finds it at left tackle. Sticks his shoulder pads and his helmet through there and gets down to about the 12, maybe the 11.5. Trey Dean, the cornerback, made the tackle. They'll spot the ball at the 12 for a 3-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and manageable for the Dogs. Let's go down to the Cooks Pest Control sideline and Chuck Dowdle. Chuck.
Scott, Kirby likes to talk about at the start of SEC games how guys come out on defense and set their cleats in the ground, and it's hard to move them. That is not being the case right now for this Georgia offensive line. They're moving that Florida defensive line.
They are indeed. Gilliard, Kenley, and Mays the guards. Wilson and Thomas are the tackles. And some delay here. Matt Leffler made some announcement here in the stadium, but I didn't hear it. One half of this. Well, now there's a flag down in the Georgia backfield.
Delay a game on the defense. Number 12's knees were not covered by his pants and was asked to leave the game and did not do that. That's a half the distance penalty, which results in a 1st down.
Wow, that's pretty good.
That's really good.
C.J. Williams, I think he said number 12, didn't have his knees covered. That's a new rule in college football. You got to have the pant over the knee, and you got to have a pad on the knee under the pant. And if you don't, it's the same as losing your helmet. You have to leave the game for a play and come back with it adjusted. He didn't follow the rules. And now it's goal to go for the Dogs on the Gators 7-yard line. Snap to Fromm, handed off to Holyfield. Gators get to him pretty quickly in the backfield. Elijah may have gotten to the 6. I'm not sure. It will depend on the spot. We'll take a look at it. He may have gotten nothing. I don't think there's any gain. They got him before he got to the line of scrimmage. It was Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and then Voshawn Joseph that made the tackle for the Gator defense. No gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the Florida 7 for Georgia.
Majority of this drive, we've had 2 tight ends in the game. We took Isaac Nauta out of the game on that play, went speed motion with Mecole Hardman. This time, both tight ends back in the game where we've had some success.
And Holyfield, the lone setback. Fromm under center. Here comes the blitz, and they will sack Fromm back on the 15-yard line. Joseph shot the gap right as Gilliard was snapping the football. He timed it beautifully. Georgia was in slow motion on offense. Fromm didn't know what to do. As soon as he got the ball, Joseph was right on top of him. It's an 8-yard loss back to the 15.
Yeah, absolutely nothing he could do there. Joseph split the gap between the guard and the centers. What you said, he timed the snap count absolutely perfectly. We'll come back and try to go get him later on with that. Put the Dogs in a very difficult situation here. Be smart with the football. You've had a great drive. Don't throw away points. Take a shot, but only where your team can get it.
They slung from back to the 15, but they spot us on the 12, so it's goal to go from there. Give it to Swift, straight up the gut, and inside the 5, down to the 4, maybe the 3.5. They ran a draw, a quick handoff to DeAndre Swift. He shot straight up the middle, just inside the 4. It was goal to go from the 12, so it's not a first down, obviously. It's not a touchdown. It's 4th down for the Dogs, and it looks like they'll try a field goal. Juwan Taylor made the tackle and saved the touchdown for Florida.
Good, smart offensive play call right there. That is a very difficult place to throw the football. You run the draw play, just try to improve your position. Maybe you get lucky and catch a crease, and we almost did.
Blankenship to try a 21-yard field goal just inside the near hash, kicking left. A little bit of an angle. The snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is good. Georgia on the board first, 3-0. That's another All-State good hands field goal. Timeout, first quarter score, Dogs 3, Gators 0 on the Bulldogs Sports Network. And today's first half broadcast presented by Ambetter. Better is taking charge of my health. The Dogs score first. A 21-yard field goal by Rodrigo Blankenship, now 11 of 13 kicking field goals this season. It was a 12-play scoring drive, 71 yards, 6:49 off the clock. That's the Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. 3-0. Georgia leads. Dogs prepare to kick it off. To our left, Kadarius Toney, Freddie Swain, the deep receivers for the Gators. Both are dangerous return men. Rodrigo Blankenship has measured it off. He's got it teed up on the 35. He approaches and kicks it long and end over end, sailing well over the back line of the end zone for the touchback. It'll be the Gators' ball, 1st and 10 at their 25 with the touchback. Georgia Power brings the energy for every game day into your community too. Visit georgiapower.com/sports to learn more. 3-0 Dogs with a good-looking first drive. They got points out of it. Stalled inside the in the red zone there with that sack by Voshon Joseph, but the Dogs still managed to get 3 out of it and get on the board first.
Yeah, they did, and you're right. Getting back to the identity that we want to have, which is we're more physical than you are. Let's see if that can carry over to the defensive side of the ball as well.
6'6" quarterback Felipe Franks in the shotgun. Gators will run it to Scarlett. He'll turn around and toss it back to Franks. They run a flea flicker, deep ball down the field. He's got a receiver breaking open. He overthrows Van Jefferson. Jefferson had 2 or 3 steps, on our defense, and he got behind it, and Franks missed the throw.
Yeah, Van Jefferson on his inside post route. J.R. Reed was in coverage. He stumbled a little bit as Van Jefferson had a slowed down, act like he was going to block a little bit, and then took off. J.R. Reed stumbles coming out of that, and then Felipe Franks all kind of time to throw that football. That's a missed opportunity for the Gators. That should have been a touchdown right off the bat.
2nd and 10 for Florida. They'll go with an empty set. They throw it out wide to the left to Trayvon Grimes. He makes the catch with a couple of blockers on the left side of the field, and up he goes across the 30 to the 33-yard line. A gain of 8. Ledbetter and McGee on the stop for the Georgia defense. Down to the sidelines. Cook's Pest Control report, Chuck Dowdle.
Hey, Scott, that flea flicker, that was a little payback from Dan Mullen. He just missed it, but that was last year. We beat Mississippi State with it.
Oh, the Gators fumble it. We pick it up on the far side. The Dogs have picked it up with Richard LeCount. He's running down the far side. He makes a man miss at the 15. They trip him up at the 13-yard line. Felipe Franks made the tackle and saved the touchdown. Gators Scarlett coughed it up on the run. LeCount picked it up on the bounce, and he was off to the races down the far sideline. Dogs have it. Goal to no. It's at the 13-yard line, and it will be 1st and 10 for Georgia. Monty Rice, the linebacker, stripped Scarlett scarlet of the football, and the Dogs defense gobbled it up and returned it down inside the 15.
Boy, Scarlett ran through a big hole there as well. Ledbetter kind of nipped him a little bit, but it was going to be a good pickup. And then Monty Rice just chopped his arm down on the football. I'm surprised that Richard LeCount didn't score. Good hustle by Felipe Franks to make the tackle. Let's see if the Dogs go for it right now.
1st and 10 on the Gators' 13-yard line. Dogs moving left. Man in motion comes this way. Handoff, some confusion to Holyfield. Gators eat him up in the backfield, a loss. Back to about the 18, 17-yard line. C.C. Jefferson leading a host of white jerseyed players in on the backfield and stopping Elijah Holyfield as the Dogs lose yardage on a 1st and 10 play back to the 17. That's a loss of 4. Georgia's in the Massey Ferguson red zone trying to go the other way, not backwards.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Jake Fromm reversed out the wrong way. I think that he did. Not 100% sure there. We had absolute confusion and just paused. And this Florida defense will get into the backfield of offenses. The past couple of games, they've been dominant.
Handoff Swift. Swift running to the left. He breaks one tackle, then gets knocked to the ground at the 16. C.J. McWilliams makes the stop for the Gators defense. It's 3rd and still long. We started at the 13. We're on the 16 now after a lost yardage play and then a short run by Swift. 3rd and 13 for the Dogs on the Gators' 16-yard line.
Yeah, and Dogs playing it very close to the vest right now. Gators up, press man-to-man. All 11 guys 10 yards from the football.
They rush 3 and they drop 8. We throw it in the end zone, over the shoulder catch. J.J. Holloman, touchdown, back left corner, running towards the bleachers. He reached his arms up, caught it over the shoulder on a line drive. A beautiful pass from Fromm in the left corner, and the Dogs get 6.
Just a takeoff route. Gators were in man-to-man. It almost looked like the cornerback for the Gators thought he was going to have help over the top. He let Holloman go. It was C.J. McWilliams that just let him go with no help over the top. Easy pitch and catch. Dogs strike again.
Dogs convert on a 3rd and long inside the red zone to take a 9-0 lead with 6:07 to go in the first quarter. Here's the point after try by Rodrigo Blankenship, and his streak continues. That's number 123 in a row. It is good. It's 10-0 Georgia. That touchdown brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares from Atlanta to over 90 destinations you love. 10-0 first quarter. Dogs lead the Gators on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Piedmont Healthcare radio booth, along with Eric Zier, Scott Howard with you. Today's first half broadcast presented by Ambetter. Better is taking charge of my health. The Dogs get a touchdown after the Florida fumble. A 16-yard TD pass, Jake Fromm to J.J. Holloman. Point after try was good by Blankenship. It's a 3-play, 13-yard drive. Took 1:17 off the clock. That's the Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. Blankenship's kick will land end over end midway through the end zone on this left side, about where the touchdown was scored for Georgia seconds ago. And the Gators will take the football on the touchback, 1st and 10 at the 25. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification here on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Good see. 10-0 Georgia leading Florida. The Gators back where they started. 1st and 10 on their own 25. Franks fumbled on that last possession. He's in the shotgun here. And they slide Pirine to his right. They'll hand it to LaMichael Pirine. Big hole straight up the gut. Quickly across the 35-yard line out near the 37. Tackled by the linebacker Monty Rice, but 12 yards and a first down for the Gators on the run by Pirine.
Yeah, that was a check at the line of scrimmage there by Felipe Franks. He moved Pirine from his left over to his right. Huge gaping hole there. That's far too much.
First and 10, Gators on their own 37. They're moving to our right. They trail 10-0. Hand off to Perine again. We're chasing him from behind. We're going to hit him from the front and the side with Monty Rice. Walker was chasing him from behind. LeCount was up there too. And Perine gets across the 40 just barely to the 40 and a half. It's a 3-yard gain. It'll be second down and 7 for Florida. They go no huddle. They've got 3 receivers out left, 1 to the right and 1 back in the backfield. That is LaMichael Perine.
Dogs right now, a lot of too high safety playing cover 2. Our defensive line, if we stay in this kind of secondary look, has to be stout and physical up front.
Dogs bring 5. We bring corner pressure from the near side. They throw it the opposite way. It's caught by Freddie Swain near the Gator sideline, far side of the field. Across the 40 up near the 43 or the 44. Tyson Campbell, the freshman corner from Plantation, Florida, made the tackle at the 43. The gain is almost a full 3. It's third down for Florida, third down and 4 for the Gators on their own 43-yard line.
Quick bubble screen to the outside there, but Tyreek McGee and Tyson Campbell both great job shedding blocks and then had help from a couple other dogs as well to limit that gain.
Gators on the far hash, moving right. 3 receivers bunched in tightly on the far side of the field, 1 to the near side. Franks drops back in the shotgun, pressured, rolls to the near side, looking, now hangs it up there, and it's caught, juggling a little bit, but getting the feet down and getting possession and out of bounds on the near sideline is Kadarius Toney. He made the catch at the Georgia 44-yard line. That's a gain of 13 and a first down for the Gators in Georgia territory.
Boy, just too much time there on the scramble. Good job by Florida working scramble rules, and Felipe Franks able to see his guy once he got outside the pocket. Again, Dogs very vanilla right now, just with their defensive looks.
Yeah, Frank's easily able to see downfield at 6'6". He fakes this one, he keeps it, and will get butted out of bounds on the near sideline by DeAndre Baker at the 41-yard line. Franks was forced to the sideline by Monty Rice, and then Baker knocked him out of bounds. The gain was 3 to the 41 of Georgia. Second down, 7 Gators. Dogs lead at 10-0. Starting to get a little late in the first quarter. Less than 4 minutes to go in the opening period. 3 receivers set. LaMichael Perine offset to Frank's right in the backfield. Play fake to Perine. Franks all kinds of time. Will throw it. And it's intercepted. He short-armed the pass. It's picked off at the 27 by Tyreek McGee. It's the Dogs' ball going the other way.
Boy, Dogs all over that just by formation. You can see our sideline pointing to the defensive secondary on where they needed to get. Boy, did we ever get there again. Just a soft 2 deep. I thought we'd come in and be much more aggressive, but staying in that 2 deep look and just our corner there able to sink. Tyreek McGee underneath the crossing receiver. I don't think Felipe Franks ever saw him. We had double
of the season and McGee's first this year. We want to remind you the Champions for Charity game is on every time the Dogs win. Camp Twin Lakes, the Salvation Army, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta win, because Walton Gas will donate $1,000 to these local charities, and for every bowl game the Dogs win, Walton Gas will donate $5,000. Everyone's a winner with Walton Gas.
14 plays so far for the Dogs. 12 of them running plays. We're averaging 4.8 yards per carry. That's with a couple of lost yardage plays in the mix as well. Jake Fromm 2 out of 2 throwing the football. So Dogs very quickly here showing they want to get back to a physical nature of play on the offensive side of the ball and running the football the predominant amount of time.
Holyfield in the backfield. He only got 7 carries 2 weeks ago at LSU. This is his 7th carry of the quarter right here. He runs straight ahead into the pile, and the pile is moving a little bit, about 3 or 4 yards, as he was hit at the 30, and the pile just kept moving another 2.5, almost 3 yards. Positive territory for the Dogs as Georgia pushes that ball 4 yards in a first down. Holyfield may have lost his hat, so he's going to come out of the ball game, and Swift will come in. Dogs ball at the 33-yard line, and the gain was 4. Solomon Kinley, what a massive body he is, 6'4", 335, helping to move that pile at left guard for the Dogs.
And again, Scott, yards after contact. That play looked like it was dead right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Swift, and he runs into the pile and dives through across the 35 just barely. He only got a couple or so. We'll see when they unstack it where they put the ball down. Just across the 35-yard line, a back nose of the football touching the 35. The gain was 2. Polite on the stop for Florida. The first Gator to make contact, Ja'Kai Polite, 6'2 junior from Daytona Beach, Florida. Leads the team in sacks. He's had a sack in each of the last 5 games for Florida. He's at that left end position right now. We'll watch number 99. 3rd down and 4 for the Dogs. We're going to run it with Swift. He hesitates at the left guard position, tries to slide down a little bit. We've got a man down. Andrew Thomas is still on the turf. Swift is stopped for a little bit of a loss. He lost about a half a yard at the 35. Zuniga and Gardner Johnson made the tackle for the Florida defense, but the Georgia Bulldogs with an injured player, that's Andrew Thomas, and he's being tended to right now. He's had some ankle problems all season long.
And he had somebody rolling to the back of his leg there, so I'm not sure if it got his knee or got his ankle again, but not a good sign. You could just see it on the replay. And Dogs on that play, Jake Fromm came up to the line of scrimmage, actually changed for a lot of juice, but at least he's not hanging on to anybody.
That is good news, at least for the time being. Here's Jake Camarda now to punt it away for the Dogs. The freshman from Norcross, averaging right at 42 yards per kick. Freddie Swain is the deep receiver. He stands on the 20. Camarda's kick going to come nose down, spiraling down towards the Gator receiver, and Swain makes a fair catch on the near sideline, right around the 24-25 yard line, and that's where the Gators will have the ball. The punt was 41 yards from Camarda. No return on the play, and the Gators will have the ball again. And Better is sponsoring our first half. Better is taking charge of my health. For more information, visit betterisga.com.
Tell you, the wind in the kicking game is going to have impact too. It's been swirling, and it almost looked like it just knocked that football down once it got up in the air. I don't think it's going to be much of it or have much impact in the passing game, but the kicking game, without question, can play a role.
2:01 remaining in the first quarter. Florida ball on their own 24. It's 10-0 Georgia. Frank's going to hand it to Pirine. Bumps into our linebacker Patrick, trying to fight off a double team. He bounces away from Patrick and will push his way close to the 30. Stopped by Tyreek McGee, who reached out and grabbed him and pulled him down. The gain was almost 6 yards. He's at the 29.5.
Good job there by Pirine. Where that play was designed to go, at a host of Bulldogs, he was able to get out of the pile of humanity and bounce outside, break contain for a nice pickup.
On that Gator left side, Patrick almost had him behind the line of scrimmage, but he was able to turn it into positive yards. Now Pirine again on the handoff, running with blockers in front, angling to the right, across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Richard LeCount, the safety, sophomore from Riceboro, Georgia, makes the tackle for the guys in red. And Pirine spotted down at the 33-yard line. The gain is 3. It's 3rd down and a couple for Florida. They'll bring everybody in tight here on that near hash, moving right on 3rd and 2. Quick handoff to Pirine. Pirine hit at the 35. He was hit at the 34 and kept going. Then he falls across to the 36 for the first down for the Gators with less than a minute to go in the quarter.
Yards after contact there for the Gators as Pirine got hit up front. Able to bounce off of that, continue to push up. Finally on the tackle, Jonathan Ledbetter, Michael Barnett, and J.R. Reed. The ones to finally bring him down. Natrez Patrick in there as well.
1st and 10 Florida now at their own 36. As we approach 35 seconds to go in the first quarter, Georgia with a 10-0 lead. Wildcat formation for the Gators. They'll snap it and run it to the left, around the left end, close to the 40-yard line. And the gain will be about 4. Julian Rochester makes the tackle on Emory Jones, a reserve quarterback, a freshman from LaGrange, Georgia. Took the Wildcat snap that time for Florida. Got a little bit of yardage out of it. Got about 5. Ball on the Gator 41-yard line. Jones will stay in the ball game at quarterback.
That's the end of the first quarter.
And that is our referee, Matt Leffler, with the announcement. The first 15 minutes has ended, and a good 15 it was for the Dogs. Georgia 10, Florida nothing. Second quarter action coming up here in Jacksonville after this on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Generated on Georgia's first possession, so they did not score after both turnovers. The first points on the field goal, 21-yarder by Blankenship, as the Dogs drove 71 yards in 12 plays. So that's your recap as we get ready for second quarter action here in the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth. Our first half broadcast presented by Ambetter. Better is taking charge of my health. Gators ball on their own 41-yard line. Second down and a short 5 for Florida. As the Gators all in white will be going to our left now as we watch it. Play fake Franks. He'll throw it out quickly to the right side. It's caught by Josh Hammond, and he's twisted out of bounds on the far sideline by the safety J.R. Reed, just shy of the Gators' 48-yard line. A gain of 7 for Florida, and that's the first down for the guys in white.
A good read there by Felipe Franks. It's the first time the Dogs today have gotten out of that too high safety look. They go single safety, just a quick out route. Franks saw it and delivered it for the first down.
6th play of the possession coming up for Florida. Felipe Franks, 6'6" quarterback. Redshirt sophomore from Crawfordville, Florida, has thrown an interception already today. His 4th straight game with a pick. He'll go under center and toss it back to Perine. Perine with space out on the right edge, ridden down as he gets into Georgia territory by Walter Grant, the outside linebacker from Cairo, ridden down to the turf at the Georgia 40, where are they going to put it? 42-yard line, it looks like. And that's a 10-yard pickup and a first down for Florida as they move into Bulldogs territory now, Z.
Yeah, again, another big, huge hole for Perine to run through. We've seen it on a number of plays, caught a break on one of the runs where they coughed it up and fumbled. But even that one was 7-8 yards downfield. Dogs need to get stouter up front.
Perine had a monster game in their win in Nashville 2 weeks ago. Over 200 yards combined offense from scrimmage. This time he's hit in the backfield and dragged away from the line of scrimmage by Natrez Patrick, who had him around the legs. Hit him once. He tried to pull away, and Patrick held on and pulled him back a little bit more. I don't think he got back to the line. He's going to lose a yard back to the 43-yard line. A lost yardage play by the Dogs defense. It'll be 2nd and 11 for the Gators.
A little more aggressive there by the Dogs. Gators move across the 50-yard line. Maybe that's going to be the line where you see us get more aggressive. Went single safety, had more guys up in the box, and that time it paid off.
Dogs with 5 men up on the line of scrimmage. Play fake Frank sets up on the SEC logo. Midfield, throws it deep down the middle of the field. It's batted away by J.R. Reed. We had double coverage on the receiver, Trayvon Grimes. He was down around the 5 between the hash marks. And Reed really, Z, could have had a pick right there. Hit him right in the hands, it looked like.
Should have had it. Read it perfectly all the way. Tyson Campbell in coverage underneath. Then Dogs there, single safety. And J.R. Reed saw it the entire way. Perfect coverage. Tyson Campbell almost baited Felipe Franks into throwing that one, as it looked like the Florida receiver had a step on him, but closed very quickly. Great read. Should have been picked off.
Here in the second quarter, 3rd and 11 now for the Gators. They're 2 of 3 on 3rd down conversion tries. They'll throw it to the right side of the field. It's caught by the receivers with blocking to the sideline. And I think he got enough for the first down. We drag him down at the 32. That was Tyree Cleveland, the 6'2 junior from Houston. He was stopped by DeAndre Walker. But on 3rd and 11, I think that's Florida's longest 3rd down conversion attempt of the year, believe it or not. They had not converted over 3rd and 9, but they convert right there on 3rd and 11. It's 1st and 10 at the Dogs' 32.
Quick little tunnel screen on the outside. Well executed, well blocked. And a big first down pickup for the Gators.
Shotgun snap to Franks. Oh, we gobble up Perine as he takes the handoff. Malik Herring with first contact for the Dogs. The sophomore defensive end from Forsyth, Georgia. Got his 280-pound body going in the right direction and stops Perine for a loss of 1 at the 32.5, 33-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 11 for the Gators.
Boy, great penetration that time from the Dogs up front. And you got to feel good. I know we just gave up a 3rd and long, but you keep this Gator offense in 2nd and long, 3rd and long situations. You got to feel good about your chances.
Jordan Scarlett in the backfield now for Florida. 4-man front. Now we creep another guy up on the and flag down. Patrick was asking for the flag, the Georgia linebacker. They moved early as Morrell Stevens, the tight end, had a false start.
False start on the offense. Number 82. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Patrick saw it immediately and was pointing it out to the referees. They had a little trouble getting the flag out of the waistband and throwing it on the turf, but that'll mark off the 5 yards against Florida, put the ball back between the 37 and the 38. And the Gators will work there on 2nd long, 2nd and 15 now. 10-0 Georgia. We're in the second quarter. Franks in the shotgun. Scarlett offset to his left. Scarlett going to get the carry, runs to the right. Had a little bit of a crease there. He hit the hole down to the 30-yard line for Georgia. Powell's on top there. And the gain was 7.5, 8 yards by Scarlett. Just a simple little run right off the right edge. See, Georgia's Brenton Cox and Richard LeCount two of the guys in on the stop for the Bulldog defense, and it'll be 3rd down, about 8 now for the Gators after a gain of 7.
Yeah, Dogs went back into that cover 2 look that we've seen him in most of the game. Again, three defensive linemen walking on one of the outside linebackers, so it looks like 4 defensive linemen down, but really it's the 3, and the Gators have found some wide gaping holes in which to run.
5 receiver set, empty set. They go with a quarterback draw. Franks will take the snap, run it straight up the field, and down to the, 22-yard line. Ledbetter spun him around, made the tackle. I think he's shy of the first down by about a yard or so. He is. It's 4th and a yard at the Georgia 23-yard line. Ledbetter and LeCount made the stop for the Georgia defense. Gators are going to go for it, it would appear.
Yeah, similar to LSU last time we were on the field in these 4th and short situations, going for it, trying to extend drives.
Franks out of the shotgun, pressure, throws it off his back foot, incomplete on 4th down. We brought pressure. Now a flag down in the Georgia secondary. Reed came in on a blitz, and Franks just unloaded the ball. There was nobody on that spot on the field where it landed. And there's a flag in the Georgia secondary. We might have defensive holding. Let's see.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's exactly what that is.
Pass interference, defense, number 44. That's a spot foul with an automatic first down.
That hurts on Jawan Taylor. The linebacker called for interference as he comes out of the ball game. So the Gators will have the ball, 1st and 10 on the Georgia 15-yard line now.
Yeah, it was a good call. Gators were trying to sneak. I believe it was their tight end out from inside, and he had us beat. I believe it was Stevens, I guess, was trying to get out into the flat.
Here's Scarlett on a handoff, trying to bounce out to the right. Breaks the tackle down to the 10, zigzagging to the 5, twisting down to the 2, and to the 1-yard line. We couldn't get the guy on the turf. He's down to the 1. Ledbetter finally made the stop shy of the goal line, but the Gators have it goal to go inside the Georgia 1.
That should have been a loss of 2 or 3 yards. Instead, they're knocking on the doorstep to go score. Tay Crowder had a shot at him.
14-yard run by Jordan Scarlett. He was zigzagging left and right all over the place. Frank's just going to take the snap out of the shotgun, run straight ahead and dive across the goal line for the touchdown. Gators on the board on the 1-yard dive by the big 6'6" quarterback, and it's 10-6 Georgia with 9:57 to go here in the second quarter.
Well, the penalty hurt, but if you're concerned about anything, if you're Georgia, it's just too many yards right now in the running game. Florida averaging 5.8 yards per carry. Coming into this contest, they were averaging 5.1. We've got to shut down some of those big explosive running plays from the Gators.
Massive drive, Z, by Florida. We couldn't get them off the field. 76 yards in 14 plays. It took over 7 minutes. McPherson with the point after for the Gators makes it Georgia 10, Florida 7. Long way to go here in Northeast Florida. We're back to Jacksonville after this timeout on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Z and Scott back here in the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth at the Bank, the big stadium here in Jacksonville, Florida. New score, Georgia 10, Florida 7 now. Our first half broadcast presented by Ambetter. Better is taking charge of my health. Here's McPherson's kick from right to left. End over end, going to come down, returnable. Caught by Hardman, I believe. That is Mecole, caught it at the 8, quickly across the 20 and up close to the 30, hit on the near sideline and knocked to the ground around the 30-yard line or so by Ventrell Miller. He's a leading special teams tackler for the Gators, and he gets another one right there. The return about 22 yards to the 30. Let's go down to the sidelines. Chuck Dowdle with a Cook's Pest Control report. Chuck.
All right, I'm told Andrew Thomas, right ankle injury. He is out of the tent. He's up walking around. Looks like he's feeling a little better, but I'm being told officially he is out for now.
All right. Thanks, Chuck. Cade Mays is at left tackle right now, and Trey Hill is at right guard. Those are the changes on offensive line. Fromm throws it to Holloman. He catches it at the 39, then was hit and dropped it. Incomplete. Hit by Trey Dean, a Hampton, Georgia freshman for the Gator defense. It'll bring up second down and 10 now for the Dogs from our own 30-yard line, leading Florida 10-7 here. 9:46 to go in the second quarter. Georgia Power brings the energy for every game day into your community too. Visit georgiapower.com/sports to learn more.
Gators playing quarter coverage, so 4 defensive backs really across the board at 10 yards. They're walking their corners up to press, though.
Play fake Holyfield, throw it to Hardman on a screen out to the far side. Gators defend it well. Hardman is still on the turf. He may be shaken up on the play, grabbing at his ankle. Yeah, he's injured now. Cole shaken up. And the ball will be at the 32, I think.
Well, get his ankle rolled up on bad, too.
Not good. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson on the tackle for the Gators defense. Going to be an injury timeout, I believe. Yes. 10-7, Georgia leading Florida. Second quarter, not going like the first for the Dogs. Back in a moment on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. And a first half broadcast presented by Ambetter. Better is taking charge of my health. Good news for Mecole Hardman, who had his ankle rolled on. He was up and able to walk off under his own power. We'll get some information on him as soon as it is available, but he's out of the game right now. It's 3rd and 9 for the Dogs on our own 31, leading 10-7 over Florida. Fromm with time, looking, being pressured, will throw it, flag down, throws it incomplete towards the line of scrimmage. And it's probably going to be holding on the Dogs, and an incomplete pass. It's going to be 4th down
holding
anyway.
On the offense. That penalty would be declined. 4th down. That was number 66 on the hold.
That was Solomon Kinley, says referee Matt Leffler. Zuniga and Jefferson on pressure for the Florida front line and forcing Fromm out of the pocket. He rolled right, just chunked it incomplete, but we were holding anyway. So now it's 4th and 9. And Georgia on to punt it away again, leading at 10-7, 9:14 to go, second quarter here in Jacksonville. Here's Jake Camarda to punt it, and Freddie Swain will be the deep man for the Gators as he stands on the 30. Camarda's kick, not real high, not real deep. Going to bounce on the 34. Florida take a Georgia roll, angling left and out of bounds into the Gators sideline at the 31-yard line. We got 38 yards out of that kick. No return. Florida will have the ball, trailing by 3 when we come back. Timeout in Jacksonville. Georgia 10, Florida 7 on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Today's first half broadcast presented by Ambetter. Better is taking charge of my health. They were here in the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth in Jacksonville, Florida, trailing Georgia 10-7. Gators with the ball, 1st and 10 on their own 31 here in the second quarter. Franks in the shotgun. Snap. And Pierce in the ball game for the first time. The freshman takes the handoff, tries to angle his way outside at right tackle, and he manages to get about a yard or so to the 33. Before the Dogs defense unstacks it on the far side with a couple of big men, Julian Rochester and Jordan Davis, a freshman, from Charlotte, North Carolina, just into the ball game. And they make the stop after a 1-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 9 for Florida on their own 32.
Better sign there for the Dogs. Before that play, Florida was averaging 5 yards on first down.
Shotgun snap to Franks. Broken play with Pierce. Now they run the option to the near side, and Pierce will get up across the 35 to the 40, being tackled down there at the 40-yard line by Monty Rice. It looked like a broken play, and then they recovered it and ran it to the left, and they ran some option with Pierce taking the pitch from Franks and getting 8 yards to the 40. It's 3rd and 1.
Well, they faked the dive with Pierce, but he didn't go anywhere, so it did look like a broken play. I think it may have even been a read that they back off of that when it's not there. Then Franks and Pierce went down the line of scrimmage. We had nobody outside on contain. Franks actually got a couple of yards downfield before he finally pitched the football.
Gators 3rd and a yard on their own 40. Play clock at 2. Franks, now Florida will have to call a timeout as the play clock hits 0.
Timeout, Florida.
Florida calls time. We will too with 7:41 to go second quarter. Georgia 10, Florida 7. Back in a moment. Bulldogs Sports Network. If you know someone who makes an impact on their community, Team UGA, presented by Georgia Power, is now accepting nominations for members who demonstrate an unselfish giving attitude. Submit your nominations at GeorgiaDogs.com. Gators ball, 3rd down and a yard to go on their own 40-yard line, trailing Georgia 10-7. And they will run it straight ahead easily for the first down. Felipe Franks taking the snap and just running in there behind his right guard and right tackle in the center. And the Gators have it. 3-yard pickup to the 43. 1st and 10, Florida. Let's go to the Cooks Pest Control sidelines. Chuck Dowdle. Chuck.
Guys, just want to give you an update on Mecole Hardman. He's out from under the tent. He's rejoined the team over on the bench. He was doing some light jogging as Ron Corson was watching, and we've been told that they will let us know if he can return.
All right, thank you, Chuck. There's the snap to Franks. Pulls it down a high snap, hands it off to Pierce. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and driven back. Tate Crowder made first contact and held him up, and then Jonathan Ledbetter grabbed a piece, drove him back, but the forward progress will mark him up to the 44-yard line. They actually give him a yard for that. It looked like he didn't get that, but it's 2nd down and 9 for Florida at their 44.
Great job right there by Tate Crowder, shedding a block. He got a big Florida Gator off of him, and it just squared up right there in the hole. Good solid tackle, and we've missed a bunch of them here in the early going. Not that time.
Gators have rushed for 100 yards in the ball game now. Franks in the shotgun. They bring Tony in motion from the near side. Play fake. He'll throw it to Tony, the motion man, out in the right flat. And Campbell going to get over there and push him out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Tyson Campbell following the play. And as Tony caught it, he came over to shove him into the Gator sideline at the 49. The gain was 5. And it'll be 3rd down and about 4 yards to go now for Florida near midfield.
Just a quick swing pass, Tony. It almost serves as a sweep. Break contain and get out on the edge, but a good job of the Dogs staying at home and making a good solid play. 3rd and medium here. See if the Dogs bring any pressure.
Dogs with 4 men on the line of scrimmage. The Gators now Georgia will stop the clock.
First charge timeout, Georgia.
We'll keep it right here. 6:01 to go, second quarter. Dogs call a time with Florida facing a 3rd and 4 coming. Role of possessing the football here as we have gotten into the second quarter. 145 yards total offense for the Gators, 45 through the air, and as we mentioned a moment ago, 100 yards rushing. They do have the 2 turnovers, and they trail by a score of 10-7.
Enough concern for the Dogs. It's that 100 yards that the Gators have got on the ground. we've stiffened up a little bit here on this drive, especially on first down, and we've stuffed a couple of runs, but the Gators at 5.3 per carry, they're going to take that all day long because it opens up their entire playbook and they can control every part of this game.
Dogs only 7 total yards here in the second quarter. The Gators have produced 79s. Franks with time, stands in the pocket tall, throws, and in and out of the hands of Morrell Stevens, the tight end at the Georgia 40. He went low to the ground to catch it, and as he rolled, the ball didn't come with him. It's an incomplete pass. He had all day to throw and just stand and observe the field at 6'6", and that's a pass play they should have completed, but for Georgia's sake, they don't, and they'll have to punt it away here on 4th down and 4 from their own 49. Here's Tommy Townsend, the junior punter from Orlando, to kick it away.
Stevens was just on a skinny slant route there that should have been hit. He was open, just a poorly delivered ball by Felipe Franks.
Terry Godwin, the deep man, and Townsend will try to pooch Georgia into a hole. And the ball will land around the 15 far sideline, take a Gator bounce and roll out of bounds at the 11. Godwin never got to get near that thing as Townsend did a nice job angling it away from him. A 40-yard punt, and he's kicked the ball dead down at the 11-yard line. So the Dogs will have to come out of a hole, leading it 10-7, 5:47 remaining here in the first half on what has become a cloudy day here in Jacksonville, but fairly cool temperatures, low 70s right now, as the Dogs break the huddle, come up to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 at the 11. From under center, will hand it off to Holyfield. Elijah bounces out left at left tackle and up quickly across the 15 to the 16-yard line. A gain of 5. Reese and Joseph, the linebackers for the Gators, in to make the stop on Georgia's leading rusher.
Another power formation in there for the Dogs. Good job on the left side of our offensive line. Isaiah Wilson, Lamont Gilliard was in there. Cade Mays was playing left tackle right now. Good job across the board.
Yeah, you've got Kendall Baker at left tackle, and Mays is back at right guard now, and we're going to run it near side with James Cook, the Floridian, who tries to run at an angle towards the Georgia sideline across the 20 to the 21 before being pulled down from behind by Sean Davis, a safety from Miami, Florida. And the gain should be first down material, I believe. They're going to measure. Matt Leffler, the referee, is going to call an official timeout. Looks like they'll bring the chains over from across the field. It's close to a first down, close enough that they will measure. And let's go down to the sidelines. Cook's Pest Control report with Chuck.
Yeah, guys, and this is good news. I've just gotten the official word that Mecole Hardman is back, and he will be able to continue to play in this game. That's great news.
That is terrific news, Chuck. Thank you very much. As the Dogs, we'll see if they are about 6 inches shy, according to the referee on the measurement. Scana Energy is a proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. For every touchdown the Dogs score, Scana Energy will make a $500 donation to the University of Georgia General Scholarship Fund. Dogs short of the first down here. 3rd and 1, actually less than that, far less than 3rd and a yard, less than a half a yard even. And Jay Black tells me the Dogs have no first down since that opening drive when they took the ball and marched it downfield and got 3 points out of it on a Blankenship 21-yard field goal.
Well, we had the touchdown pass after that, but after the touchdown pass, haven't had a first down since then.
3rd and less than a yard. Here's Fromm under center now, and Harrion in the backfield. We overload the left side with a couple of tight ends. Hand it to Hardman on a jet sweep to the left, and the Gators stop it behind the 20-yard line. Sean Davis came up from the right side and made the stop on Hardman. They tried the jet sweep to the left corner. We didn't get there, and it's 4th down.
Boy, that's just great defense right there by the Gators. They're able to get outside. We can't break contain even with the speed of Hardman. He tried to cut that thing up. Isaac Nauta could just not get out in front. Mecole outran his block there just by a little bit, but there was a ton of pursuit by the Florida Gators. And another 3 and out. I believe that's 3 in a row for the Dogs.
Here's Camarda's punt. Long, high high sailing, beautiful kick. Backing up the Gator receiver Swain back inside the 25. He'll catch it at about the 23 and then try to dance his way back upfield, but not a lot of space there as the Dogs had it covered well. A long high kick from Camarda. We needed that. 56 yards on the punt, 2-yard return. Florida has the ball now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Less than 4 minutes to go in the quarter.
Holding receiving team number 33. That penalty being forced from the end of the kick. First down.
They'll back them up 10 more yards, put them inside their own 20. There's 3:59 remaining in the half. Georgia leading it by a score of 10-7. And Dog fans, whether your favorite seat is right on the 50-yard line or comes with a bird's eye view, head to StubHub, grab 100% verified tickets so you know you'll get in. StubHub's been getting fans into the game for over 17 years. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Georgia Bulldogs. And coming up in less than 4 minutes, it's the AAMCO Transmissions halftime report with Neil Hondo Williamson, presented by the AAMCO Transmission Centers of Metro Atlanta. That holding penalty back the Gators up to their own 15-yard line.
And a big series right here. 5 minutes 47 seconds left in this half. If Dogs can get a stop here, put ourselves in very good field position.
Here's Franks with time. Not much of a surge by our defensive front. We'll dump it off to the right edge to Jordan Scarlett. Over in the right flat, Scarlett up the sideline to the 19 before being knocked out by Tyreek McGee and Monty Rice. A couple of good hard hits on the Gators sideline. The gain was 4 to the 19. 2nd down and 6 now for Florida. 3:46 on the clock. It's moving here in the 2nd quarter. Georgia with a 3-point lead, 10-7. Snap to Franks. He'll give it to Scarlett. Curls around to the right, running behind one of his big offensive guards who pulled on the play. And Scarlett bullying his way across the 25 to the 27 for a 1st down. Rice and Crowder on the stop for the Dogs defense. But the Gators get enough yards for the 1st down. In fact, they got 8 up to the Florida 27.
Boy, a lot of beef leading the way. As you mentioned, Scott, 2 big offensive linemen pull on that play. It just opened up another big gaping hole.
1st and 10 Florida. Shotgun snap. Give it to Scarlett. He runs by 2 defenders, and then we hit him at the 39 and drive him back the other way. Those red shirts converged. Rice made first contact, and Crowder got a piece of that hit on Scarlett as well. The gain was to the just shy of the 30, almost a full 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for Florida. They take their time. 2:49, 2:48 to go. Franks leaves the ball game. And here comes Emory Jones, the freshman quarterback from LaGrange, Georgia, into the contest.
That was the same exact play by the Florida Gators. Almost had another hole with Monty Rice having to plug that one up a little bit to Yankee backwards.
They'll snap it to Jones. He'll immediately run to the left. Jones cuts up behind the block at the 33 and dives across the 35 to the 36 or so. Richard LeCount on the stop for the Dogs defense. The gain is 6 yards for Jones. It's 3rd and about 1.5 yards to go for the Gators. They've got to get just beyond their own 37 for a 1st down.
Gators 4 out of 7 so far on the afternoon.
Again, taking their time. Jones will stay in the ball game. Emory Jones, 6'2", 200-pound freshman from LaGrange. Drops back into the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 1 back in the backfield with Jones. Waiting for the snap. Takes it and runs. They'll run option. The ball's on the ground. We hit him. Jones may have fallen on his own fumble. I don't know. Georgia may have recovered it with Malik Herring. We shall see. Emory Jones recovered his own fumble. Herring hit him, and then the ball was loose. Both guys went diving for it. Florida fell back on the ball on 4th down. Now back at the 29-yard line, but it is 4th down. Clark jumped on top of the quarterback Z and tried to get the ball away after the ball got loose and was put on the turf by the Gators.
He sure did. Malik Herring, what a play, though. Able to wrap up Jones, and as Jones was making the pitch, was able to get his hand and deflect the pitch. So Dogs do their job.
Georgia loads the line, puts 10. Now they drop a man back as Florida has the punter on to kick it away. Townsend to kick it back to Mecole Hardman. Long punt. Hardman, fair catch, waved for. Now they'll let it bounce. It takes a bit of a Gator bounce straight up in the air, more or less, at the 21, and that's where Florida will field it and mark it down right there. But Townsend got a good high-hanging punt. We weren't able to return it, as the Dogs will have the ball at their own 21-yard line. Only 50 seconds remain in the quarter. 40-yard punt for Florida, no return. Dogs have it at the 21-yard line.
And that wind is just playing havoc. That football looked like it was just going to be back in a kick 15 yards further. Nicole was backing up to where he thought it was going to go, and the wind just knocked it down. We're fortunate that didn't hit one of our players.
And Better sponsors our first half. Better is taking charge of my health. For more information, visit betterisga.com. Dogs with the ball on their own 21, waiting to take a snap. The officials are huddled up over the ball or around the ball. Matt Leffler is talking to someone on his headset. He's our referee. So they haven't turned us loose for play for the final 50 seconds. 10-7, Georgia leads on a 21-yard Blankenship field goal and a 16-yard Fromm to Holloman TD pass. Florida's only score, a 1-yard dive by Felipe Franks. Nissan knows game day is all about the game-winning drive, so Rogue has available technologies that'll help make the day's best drive getting to the stadium. Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics. Let's go down to the sidelines. Cook's Pest Control report with Chuck Dowdle. Chuck.
Well, the reason it was not the wind that knocked that ball down. It's that wire that flyover camera is on, and so they're now discussing.
The previous play is under further review. The ball potentially touched the wire.
Well, there you heard it from Matt Leffler. It didn't potentially touch it. It touched it. And I guess what they'll do is see if they can determine by video back in Birmingham if it touched it or not. And if it did, then they're going to replay the down. But I'll tell you, just to save them the trouble, it touched it.
So the wire's not in play like an official would be. If you hit the wire, you keep playing. There's a rule for that.
Apparently not. I do think that CBS gets penalized 25 yards.
All right. Well, Matt Leffler he's put the headset on, Chuck.
Yeah,
and,
they got to move their cameras 25 yards back.
All right, we'll take a look at a replay. Barbasol sponsors this play under review. Barbasol is offering you a chance to score big when you join the new Barbasol Shave Club. Grab your premium starter kit for just $6.99 today with code FOOTBALL at barbasol.com. Barbasol, game on. 10-7, Georgia leading. Less than a minute to go in the quarter and the half. As we pause, 10 seconds, station identification here on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Well, the ball's spotted right now at the Georgia 21-yard line, and the officials are reviewing the previous play, the punt by Tommy Townsend and the Florida Gators, to see if his punt hit the wire that their sky cam is attached to. And then we may have to do it again after that. So we'll see. Matt Leffler is our referee. He's got the headset on, and they're doing the collaborative thing with the folks in Birmingham.
Well, I think it's going to be obvious on the replay that we saw that it definitely did hit the wire. I'm sure they're talking about right now. Where does the game?
After review, the ball did hit the camera wire. Therefore, we will replay fourth down.
All righty then. So Townsend will come back out and punt it away again. And Nicole Hardman, maybe he'll get one to return this time with 50
Game clock operator, remaining. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute. 1 minute on the game clock, please.
10 seconds back on the clock. 4th and 8 is the down and distance, and they'll place the ball on the 29, or make it the 30 of Florida, and they'll put it on the far hash. Townsend and the Gators, all in white, will kick it to our left as we view it here. And Nicole Hardman will stand on the 29 on that same hash mark down at the other end of the field for Georgia, try to get a return going. Dogs load the line, 10 men up on the line of scrimmage. Snap back to Townsend. Gets the ball in the air, high, long, booming kick. Wow. Hardman lets it land on the 10, and it's going to bounce into the end zone just barely. The one Gator player that was in coverage down there kind of lost track of the ball. He got ahead of it. It bounced on the one, held up just a little bit, but he was already in the end zone. I think that was Tyree Cleveland trying to cover the punt, but he knocked it all the way into the end zone. A 71-yard punt. That matches his career best. He had a 71-yarder earlier this season for the Gators in a game against Vanderbilt, I believe. Actually, that's a new career high. He had a 70-yard punt earlier this year, and that one went 71, and the Dogs will have the ball at the 20 on the touchback.
Well, that was almost the best punt I've ever seen in my life. That was 6 inches away from being a bomb that landed on the 1-inch line.
So Georgia on the 20. 50 seconds remain. 1st and 10 Dogs. Snap to Fromm. He will throw. Caught by Nauta, the tight end, up the near sideline. 30, 35, 40, 45, and tackled at the 47-yard line. Quick 27-yard gain to the tight end. That's a Scana Energy first down. Dogs hustle up to the line of scrimmage. They'll put the ball down at the 47. 42 seconds remain in the half. Georgia with a 3-point, 10-7 lead. Fromm back to pass again. Same play. Throw it to Nauta. Catches it coming this way. Out of bounds in Gator territory at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5. Boshawn Joseph, the linebacker, pushing Nauta out of bounds into the Georgia sideline. Dogs in Gator territory inside their 47-yard line.
Love the play call 2 times in a row. Gators right now just moved to cover 2, but they're carrying with our receivers. We've got a mismatch with Nauta on the Florida linebackers.
Dogs with 2 timeouts remaining. Fromm in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the right. Swift in the backfield. Fromm with time. Throws in the pocket. Caught by Nauta. Middle of the field at the 30. Changes directions. 25 down to the 23-yard line.
Yep, keep playing cover 2, Florida. We're going to keep throwing to the tight end in all kinds of ways. We've got a mismatch right there. We'll see if the Gators flip what they're trying to do here.
That was 23 yards. Fromm will throw again. There's Nauta again, and makes the catch on the near sideline and bumped out of bounds at the 14-yard line by Joseph, the linebacker. Clock stopped with 15 seconds to the remaining. Nauta caught 4 straight passes as he and Fromm have delivered the Dogs down the field to the Gator 13.5. They've covered 66 yards already in those 4 passes to Nauta. It's 2nd down and a yard to go at the 13 of Florida. Swift in the backfield. Fromm in the shotgun. 3 receivers left.
Second charge timeout, Florida.
Gators call time with
30 seconds in duration.
The clock was already stopped. The Gators want to discuss it. They've got 1 time.
Tight ends. If Florida continues to give us this cover 2 or quarters look, even when they go to quarters, our backs out of the backfield and our tight ends, viable weapons right now against these defensive looks.
Dogs, Zeeb, prior to this series had 3 straight 3-and-outs offensively, but they go to the air here in the 1-minute drill and come flying down the field down to the Gators 13.
Boy, no question about it. But just a great display of passing efficiency there, and Fromm and Nauta hooking up.
4 catches for 66 yards for Nauta on this drive. Snap to Fromm. Looking, throws it. There's Hardman. Hardman to the 10. Hardman angles to the right. Mecole out of bounds at the 5 with 9 seconds left on the clock. Gardner Johnson chased Mecole out of bounds on this near sideline at the 5. It's goal to go for the Dogs. The gain was about 8. 1st and goal inside the Gator 5 with 9 seconds left. You got time for 2 plays?
You got time for 2 plays if you're going to throw the football, and you've got your timeouts left as well.
Georgia with 2 timeouts remaining. Swift in the backfield. Fromm will work out of the shotgun. Hardman and Simmons off to the left, and Ridley to the right. We shift the tight end to the left in the slot. Snap to Fromm. He looks to the right to Ridley. Batted away in the end zone by Florida. The Gators had coverage with C.J. Williams. We tried to go to the back right corner to Riley Ridley, but C.J. McWilliams batted it away, incomplete. Clock stops with 6 seconds to go.
Boy, McWilliams played that absolutely perfectly. Was in position. If he could have got his body turned around, may have been able to pick that one off.
It didn't have a whole lot of loft on that ball, not a lot of air under it if you're trying to run a fade. Dogs are going to try to run a play here with 6 seconds left before maybe having to try a field goal.
3rd and final timeout, Florida. 30 seconds.
Ball's on the near hash, just inside the Gator 5. 2nd and goal from right there for Georgia. Dogs lead it 10-7. Trying to get some points here before halftime. Florida will get the ball to start the second half as they won the opening toss and deferred to the second half. So they'll get the ball to start the third quarter. The Dogs would like to finish strong here with some points at the end of the first half.
And right now the Gators, we're spreading out, and the Gators have got coverage everywhere. They've got 2 deep and individuals underneath. Everybody's cleared out of the middle. Do you have enough guts to run the football here?
If you do, that might wipe out your option for 3, though, right?
Well, if you do, you would. You could throw the football and you could get a play off, probably 4 to 5 seconds. You've got time to run a play. If you run the football, you don't. You better get in the end zone. But right now the Gators are opening up outside. Again, any kind of pass right now, tight ends, and we're going to kick the field goal. Probably a smart play because it was going to be right down to the wire.
Yeah, they're going to spot it on the 12 with Jake Camarda, the holder. Blankenship will try a 22-yarder from the near hash, a little bit of an angle, kicking to the right. Nick Moore, the snapper. There's the snap, the hold, the placement is good. The kick is in the air, and the kick is in the net, and it's good. Dogs get 3. That took 4 seconds. 2 seconds remain. It's 13-7. Georgia on the 22-yard field goal. That's another All-State good hands field goal for Roderick.
So 4 safety or 4 defenders, secondary defenders, right across the board around the 10-yard mark. They went to cover 2 there. Either way, against those 2 safety high looks, utilizing our tight ends and getting our backs involved in the passing game can prove very beneficial. You saw it happen right there. Just great execution going down the field.
So we did throw to the tight end, which people like a lot, and we did it a lot on that series. Here's Blankenship's kick. He'll squib it. It'll bounce at the 40, skid inside the 30, down to the 20. The Gators will catch it inside the 10 and take a knee, but that's it. The clock has expired at the end of the first half, and Georgia will go into the locker room leading by a score of 13-7. 2 Rodrigo Blankenship field goals, some short range inside 30 yards, and 1 touchdown from Georgia. Jake Fromm to J.J. Holloman touchdown pass, and the Gators got a touchdown from Felipe Franks on a 1-yard dive, and that's been all the scoring here in the first 30 minutes of play between the Bulldogs and the Gators. We'll catch up with Coach Kirby Smart here in a second. It's brought to you by Delta, the official airline of the Georgia Bulldogs. We'll go down to Chuck, who's standing by to talk to Kirby on the field. Chuck, down to you.
Okay, thanks so much, Scott. Coach Smart heading over this way right now. Coach, I know you'd like to have more, but you got 3 out of that great final drive.
Yeah, we thought about taking a quick pick flat play right there at the end, but didn't think we could get it off. Didn't want to run the risk of not getting the points going to his left.
And other than that, what did you see in that first half?
Defense didn't strike the way we need to. We got to knock people back and tackle. At times, we played well offensively. We got to play better in the second half. They gave us a couple turnovers.
Thanks so much, Coach. Appreciate it. Yeah, he was right about that. We took advantage of 1 turnover, not so much on the other one. But look, we got a long way to go. We only got a 6-point lead. Guys, I'm starting to get a little nervous.
All right, Chuck. Well, hang in there. We got 30 more minutes to go. The Dogs lead it 13-7. First half in the books. The Dogs with a 6-point lead. Stay tuned now for the Amco Transmissions halftime report with Neil Williamson. Neil standing by here in Jacksonville on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Scott Howard back with you here at the bank in Jacksonville. TIAA Bank Field. Here in Jacksonville, it was something else bank last year and something else bank several years before then. But right now, it's the Northside Impact, sponsored by Northside Hospital Atlanta, as Tony says some dirty things to me in my headset. We diagnose and treat more new cancer cases than any other hospital in Georgia, providing care at 48 cancer centers. You can learn more at builttobeatcancer.com. Georgia leads 13-7 as halftime is winding down here in Jacksonville. And as the old guy creeps back into his seat, his knees not working properly, It's time to serve up the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime adjustments. The proud hangout for Georgia Athletics. Wings, beer, sports. Z, how are your knees? And then what are our second half adjustments?
Well, first of all, we need an extra step.
Well, they do.
In the booth here because
the geometry doesn't work there.
The step is like 36 inches, and my knee doesn't bend like that anymore. I don't think so. It was tough getting up, but the adjustments. I think on the offensive side of the ball, we saw the adjustments on that last drive when we had the 1 minute drive, getting our tight ends involved. If we see the same kind of looks defensively, either quarters or two deep looks, where we've got two high safeties, getting the tight ends involved in the passing game, getting our backs involved in the passing game, I think critically important, and we can find some success with it. On the other side of the ball, the exact opposite. We've primarily been two high safeties throughout this football game, not getting a tremendous amount of penetration. Would love to see us go single safety more and shut down this Florida running game. We've got to make them one-dimensional.
Well, here we go to start the third quarter. Blankenship and Georgia to kick it away to our left. Florida with Tony and Swain back deep to receive the kick. And this one will be returnable at the 2. That's Tony. Tony to the 10 on the near hash. Cuts away at the 20 to the 30. Near sideline 40. Blankenship's going to run into him. Still not out now. He's finally out of bounds. But the return is back across the 50 to the Georgia 48-yard line. About a 50-yard return by Tony. And the Gators will start the second half at the Georgia 48 as we watch it from the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth.
It's the longest kick return of the year for the Gators there, kicking into the wind. This wind is swirling a ton, and right at kickoff there's the flags turn direction, knock that football down. We've seen it happen a couple of times, and then just poor coverage got collapsed on our left side.
Blankenship ended up making the tackle. Here's Franks under center now. Will stretch handoff to Scarlett. Jordan Scarlett runs at right guard and right tackle. Downfield to the 42-yard line. McGee and Crowder on the stop for the Georgia defense. They'll spot the ball between the 42 and the 43. And the gain is almost a full 6. Second down and 4 for Florida. They trail 13-7. And we're just underway here in the third quarter. Gators working in Georgia territory. Franks will pitch it out to Scarlett. They run option to the left. We knock him down at the 37-yard line. He got the first down. Ledbetter on the stop. Jordan Scarlett taking a pitch from Franks and running to the left. And the gain is 5 and a first down for the Gators.
For Gators, formation-wise, they get our outside linebacker outside. They're going to tighten in the game, but split him out. And then Franks just goes and options off the defensive end where nobody's out there. Every time they've run it, an easy 6 or 7 yard pickup until the cavalry can get there.
Receivers Cleveland and Swain on the near side. Swain in the slot to the right, and they've got one man to the left. Franks back in the shotgun. Going to drop back on the 45. Go deep down the middle of the field. Caught over the shoulder. Touchdown, Freddie Swain. Caught it around the 10 between the hash marks. And the Gators right down the field, and they're an extra point away from taking their first lead of the contest.
Yep, Dogs back in too deep there to the inside skinny post. Richard LeCount, instead of going to the player there, went for the pick for some reason. Wasn't really even close to it, so we never had support of our two deep safety over the top on it.
37-yard touchdown pass, Franks to Swain. And now McPherson for the extra point attempt to try to give the Gators the lead here in the first minute and 25 seconds of the second half. And the kick is up and good. And the Gators lead 14-13. 13:35, third quarter. Long way to go. A lot of football to play. Dogs trail for the first time on the Bulldogs Sports Network. along with Eric Zier, Scott Howard here in the Piedmont Healthcare Radio booth here in Jacksonville. Southwest Airlines has low fares from Atlanta to over 90 destinations you love. Gators to kick it off. They lead for the first time today, 14-13 over Georgia. McPherson's kick comes down on the goal line to Mecole Hardman. He's going to run it out to the 10, to the 20, to the 28, close to the 30, but down just shy of it as he ran into a pile of players right around the 28 or the 29-yard line. Dogs will have the ball and start there. Georgia Power brings the energy for every game day into your community too. Visit georgiapower.com/sports to learn more. Well, the Gators got a 51-yard kickoff return to start the second half, and that set them up in prime position at the Georgia 48, and then they score on a 36-yard touchdown pass, officially Franks to Swain, and it's 14-13. We'll see if the Dogs can answer now, starting at their own 28-yard line. Fromm works out of the shotgun. Holyfield in the backfield. He will take the handoff and plow forward. Still on his feet. He broke out of the pile at the 30 and went crawling for another 5 yards or so. He got to the 36-yard line. He kept his feet, put his hand on the turf, and kept going. And a nice run by Elijah Holyfield. 8 yards. Second down and 2 now for Georgia.
Huge push there by Cade Mays and Isaiah Wilson. Just an off tackle, but the push was tremendous. And the good hard run there by Holyfield gets us into second and short.
2 receivers right and 2 to the left. We'll run it with Elijah again. He's got a bit of a hole at left guard, and Kinley liked the play because he made the hole at left guard. Elijah up across the 40 to the 43-yard line. A first down for the Dogs. Zuniga made the tackle. That's a Scana Energy first down out to the 43, a gain of 7. First and 10 Georgia from our own 47. We trail now 14-13, early minutes of the third quarter.
Holyfield now 48 yards on the afternoon on 10 carries.
He's the lone setback. 1 receiver to the right, 1 to the left. Holloman comes in motion from the near side. Hand off to Holyfield. Runs in behind the block of Charlie Werner. And that'll be positive yardage. A couple of yards there to the 45. David Reese, the linebacker, got up to make the stop for the Gator defense. Dogs 2nd and 8 from our own 45.
A nice little hole on a cutback that Holyfield couldn't quite get to, but was a hair away from it. That could have been a big run.
DeAndre Swift checks into the ball game here. 2 receivers to the right will bring Godwin in motion to the near side. Fromm works out of the shotgun, looks to the right, now looks downfield. He's got a man breaking wide open. Tight end Werner catches it, backpedaling at the 35, far sideline. They tackle him way around the 20 of the Gators. Steiner got over there to get Werner out of bounds and on the ground, but a big gain for the Dogs down to the Florida 20.
We catch them in the perfect coverage as well. The Gators have been 2 deep safeties most of the afternoon. They rotate to single safety. We fake the bubble screen and throw it deep.
35 yards. Fromm flips it out to the right, throws it to Swift in the flat. Swift tight roping the sideline down to the 16-yard line. That previous play was a Scana Energy first down. That's a 4-yard or 5-yard gain for the Dogs down to the 16 as Georgia works in the Massey Ferguson red zone. Trailing by a point, 11:20 to go. We go fast. We run it with Swift to the near side, trying to get to the corner. Oh, he got a face mask, but the defender hangs on. Not a face mask, excuse me, a stiff arm. But Taylor is the guy that got stiff armed, but he was able to hang on and get Swift to the ground at the 12-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and a couple for the Dogs as Georgia amped up the tempo on this possession.
Boy, no question, 3rd and short here. Last time we were in 3rd and short, we tried to run the jet sweep and got stymied. Let's see if we go right at him here.
Dogs lining up at the line of scrimmage. Fromm calling out the play. Holyfield's in the backfield. 3 receivers in tight, right edge of the line of scrimmage at the formation. Holloman's on the left side as a lone receiver. Dogs moving left on the near hash. Fromm will throw it to Holloman. Hey, touchdown! Touchdown! He reached right over the top of the defender, front left corner near the pylon, and scored for the 2nd time in the game.
That was on C.J. McWilliams again, one-on-one. And Holloman, that big body just went up. That ball perfectly thrown back shoulder. Holloman goes up with those big hands over McWilliams and swipes it away from him. Dogs don't trail for long. Take it back.
What an answer by Georgia's 72-yard drive. And the 12-yard throw from Fromm to Holloman. That combination worked in the first half. It works here in the second half. Blankenship to try the point after to make it 20-14. Snap, hold, kick, in the air, in the net, good. 20-14. Dogs come back to take the lead. 10:33 to go in the quarter. That touchdown brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares from Atlanta to over 90 destinations you love. Back in a moment. Bulldogs Sports Network. Well, the news is good again from Jacksonville. Georgia 20, Florida 14. Dogs answered Florida's score with a 72-yard, 7-play scoring drive of their own. Georgia on a 12-yard touchdown pass from Fromm to Holloman. Took 2:55 on the game clock. That's the Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. 6-point lead for the Dogs. Blankenship to kick it away to our left. Into that wind. This time he lowers the boom on it. A lower kick. Didn't get up in that air. And that line drive goes sailing over the back line of the end zone for the touchback. And the Gators will have the ball at their own 25. The Champions for Charity game is on every time Georgia wins. Camp Twin Lakes, Salvation Army, and Children's Healthcare of Atlanta win, because Walton Gas will donate $1,000 to these local charities. And for every bowl game the Dogs win, Walton Gas will donate $5,000. Everyone's a winner with Walton Gas.
Felipe Franks now 8 out of 12 on the afternoon, 85 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Florida starting this drive on their 25, trying to move to the right. Franks in the shotgun, Scarlett in the backfield. Snap is high. That's Pirine in the backfield. Excuse me. Franks pulls down a high snap, hands it to LaMichael Pirine. He runs straight ahead into the pile. He got about a yard, maybe. Natrez Patrick, our senior linebacker, made first contact for the Dogs defense. Forward progress will give the Gators the ball just across their 25. Call it a 1-yard gain, 2nd down and 9.
Now, Dogs go single safety there. We get an extra guy in the box. Every time we've done it, we've really stuffed the line of scrimmage. Do it again there. And that timing on that play was thrown off a little bit as Felipe Franks had to go up to get the snap, and Pirine had to wait on it.
3 receivers to the far side. They will keep it on the ground with Pirine. He sheds 1 tackler at the line of scrimmage, cuts up at the far hash, moves the pile to the 36. Got the first down based on where they're spotting that football. And the run will be almost a full 10 yards. I think it will be a full 10 yards. We had a guy go flying by him near the line of scrimmage. That was Patrick. Couldn't make the tackle. Pirine got 10 more yards after that. First down, Gators.
Yeah, Dogs in position there to make a play, but another missed tackle.
There's Franks in the shotgun with 3 Gators to the near side, 1 to the far side. They'll keep it on the ground with Pirine. Bounces out at right tackle and runs into a crowd of red shirts near the 40 by Monty Rice. He's got a lot of tackles today. And Tate Crowder getting a lot of snaps as well, the former running back turned linebacker out of Hamilton, Georgia. Rice has 10 tackles, as a matter of fact, which is leading the team right now. Ball just shy of the 40, almost a 4-yard gain. 2nd down and 6 for Florida. They'll run option to the left. Pitch it to Pirine, and we read it and eat him up. Have a little Pirine for lunch back at the 37.
Boy, finally a really good adjustment there. DeAndre Walker in on that play. Richard LeCount. But we ate that one up. First time today we were able to get a man on the quarterback and a man on the pitch man and nowhere to go.
He lost 3 yards on the play, or call it 2 and change. Ball's on the 38-yard line. Gators now with a 3rd down and 8 coming up. They're 50% on 3rd down today, 4 out of 8. Dogs fans on their feet making noise on this half of the stadium. Franks in the shotgun, empty set. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. Their left tackle may have moved a little bit early. There's no flag. They throw it to Cleveland on this near side, and we swallow him up at the 39-yard line. He tried to veer in, and make some room, but he had nowhere to go. The entire defense is around the ball. All 11 guys were around that ball. Tyree Cleveland, nowhere to go. Herring, and was it Taylor or Rice? It was Malik Herring and one of the linebackers that was in on the stop, and the Gators failed to convert on third down and will have to punt. It was Jawan Taylor and Herring. Ball just across the Gator 38. They'll have to kick it away on 4th and 8.
Dogs, that series, single safety, getting an extra guy in the box. Still very good coverage downfield, forcing Felipe Franks on that third down play to go to his check down.
Here's Tommy Townsend to punt it away at a 71-yarder earlier. Kicking it to Hardman. Makes the catch at the 20. Wants to return it. 25, 30. Runs by 2 men. 35, 40. Breaks the grasp of another guy at the 42. And up to the 45. Maybe the 46-yard line. Tommy Townsend, the punter, had to make the stop. Hardman just ran it straight up. He hesitated a little bit after he caught it, but he returned after a 42-yard punt. 26 yards for the Dogs. Georgia ball at our 46. Timeout. Georgia 20. Florida 14 here in the third quarter. Back in a moment. Bulldogs Sports Network. Here in the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth, here at the bank in Jacksonville. Georgia 20, Florida 14. Dogs with an opportunity here, starting this possession at our own 46-yard line. 1st and 10. Dogs moving left. Fromm under center. Swift's in the backfield, the lone setback. Fromm will drop back to pass. He pump fakes. Now he throws long, far sideline, and incomplete over the head of the intended target. On that far side, that was Holloman again. He was trying to go to, no, that was Ridley, excuse me. Riley Ridley was the intended target. And the pass was over everyone's head and incomplete.
Probably a little bit of a force there from Jake Fromm. DeAndre Swift was out of the backfield on an out route. Boy, if he would have given the ball to him quickly, right at the top of his drop, would have been there. Jake saw something downfield. We had a good coverage for it, but the coverage was very good.
There's a handoff to Swift. DeAndre runs hard at left guard and left tackle up over the 50 to the Florida 48-yard line. David Reese makes the tackle for the Gators in the next level, but Swift with a nice 5.5, 6-yard run. We're going to put it between the 48 and the 49, so give him 5.5 on that carry, and it'll be third down and about 5 to go, maybe 4.5.
Inside trap play there by the Dogs. Nice hole that was opened up.
Dogs working Gator territory just barely across midfield. 3 receivers to the right. Fromm in the shotgun. Snap. Steps up in the pocket. Now he's going to pull it down and run. He's got all day. 40 slides safe at the 36-yard line. Turf flying up as Fromm with the baseball slide for the first down at the 30. They bring it all the way back to the 39. That's a scan of energy first down despite where they spotted it. Now they move it again. Closer to the 38. 11-yard gain. Fromm to throw. We go quick. Throws it to Nauta over the middle. 5th catch of the day for the junior from Buford at the 31. Tackled there by Reese. And the gain is 7. Dogs going quickly. Tempo picking up. 6:09 to go third quarter. Georgia leads by 6. Looking to go up more. Fromm asks for the ball. Gets it in the shotgun. Time. Throws. Lobs. And there's not at the 20. Not at the 15. Flag down at the 10. Wrestled out of bounds at the 6. Jawan Taylor for Florida. Knocking our big tight end out of bounds at the 6-yard line. But let's check a flag. Thrown in right around the 17-yard line from the Florida secondary is where the flag came from.
They may call offensive pass interference on
Pass
Nauta.
interference. Offense. Number 18. That's a 15-yard penalty. Replay. Second down.
Ouch.
Yeah, he was so wide open at the top of his stem. I haven't seen a replay yet. All I saw was a Florida Gator defender flailing on the ground as Isaac Nauta pushed him. It was Taylor that was in coverage for a second until he got a hold of Nauta.
Ball all the way back to the 40, or the Gator 46-yard line. Now we finally get a replay on the video board. That looked like a flop to me. Did he give him an elbow? Did he give him a forearm to the head? This is the only place we go to that doesn't have a TV monitor in the booth, so we saw the replay on the video board. And Georgia penalized back to the 46-yard line. We'll run this one, but not very well. Voshon Joseph stopping Swift. No, that's Holyfield, excuse me, in the middle of the field at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, and all that play was trying to get a little bit of that back. I mean, we're way behind the chains right now. You don't want to create a disaster out of this drive. You've got some momentum right now. If you're the Dogs, improve field position. If you can get something maybe up into field goal range, but with this wind, well, if it's behind you, you're going to be fine. But it's swirling so much, field goal is going to be tough.
It's 3rd and 18 for Georgia now on the Florida 46. We work on the logo. Here comes pressure off the edge. We dump it to Swift for a screen. He cuts back at the 40, runs over a guy at the 38, keeps chugging a couple of more yards to the 37, maybe the 36 and a half. Jawan Taylor, secondary man, made the tackle. They bring the ball back to the 37 and a half, middle of the field, 4th down there. 4th and 9. We got 9, and no field goal unit, but the punt unit instead.
Yeah, just too much wind right now that is swirling would make this a very difficult field goal opportunity. You did what you needed to do, improve field position. Now pin them inside the 10-yard line or 15-yard line and let your defense go to work.
There's Camarda on to punt it. They snap it, but the whistle blows first.
Timeout, Florida.
I thought maybe we're going to do something sneaky, or now maybe they are. 4:19 to go. Florida calls time. We'll hold it right here in the 3rd quarter. 20-4. A winner over Florida State today in the ACC, 59-10. Here it's 20-14. Dogs leading Florida. 3rd quarter. 4:19 to go. Georgia with a 4th down and 9 coming up. Florida called the timeout. The ball is on the Gator 37-yard line. Well, they had Hot Rod up around in the huddle there to make Florida think that maybe we're sending out the field goal unit, but no, it'll be Jake Camarda. Again, the line of scrimmage, the 37. We'll see if Camarda tries to kick him in a hole. He stands on our 49 on the SEC logo, middle of the field here. And Swain is the deep man for the Gators. He stands on the 10. Snap to Camarda. He's going to try to pooch it. High, hanging, sideways, spinning kick. We've got a guy to cover it. Bounces on the 5. We fielded on the 1. Mecole Hardman looking like a shortstop. Fielded that ball at the 1-yard line. We've kicked him in a hole. Let's see if we can keep him there. Mecole got behind the ball. It bounced on the 5. Great job by Jake Camarda, the freshman. He got some kind of funky spin on that ball, and when it hit on the 5, it kind of died a little bit, and then a Sunday hop right to Hardman, who was ready to field it at the 1.
Boy, excellent fundamentals there by Mecole Hardman. Knew exactly where he was on the field, got his eyes on the goal line, got his feet positioned, and then got ready for the ball. You're right, he got a Sunday hop. Still perfectly executed, and the Dogs, after the penalty, did exactly what you need to do in that kind of situation. Take care of it, play field position. Now let's go to work.
Gators on their own 1. Franks in the shotgun, stands in the end zone. There's the snap. He wants to run it out. And he lost the ball. We recovered it at the 1. Are they going to call him down? We pick it up and get it into the end zone. Let's see what's going on. They're going to wave him down, I think, at the 1. Tay Crowder has picked up the fumble and ended up in the end zone. Franks hit the ground. Did the ball come out before or after?
The rolling on the field is a fumble recovered by Georgia. 1st down.
So not a touchdown, but a 1st down for Georgia, says the officials. We'll see if they review it. We're looking at the replay here. Oh, that ball, and looking at the replay on the scoreboard, see, it looked like that ball was coming loose before any part of his body touched the ground.
It does. We were spinning him around. Really, it's going to be hard to tell, but we stripped it out. Tyreek McGee.
The rolling of a fumble is under further review.
Tyreek McGee stripped the football out as Felipe Franks was spinning around. It didn't look like any body part hit the ground. Again, we don't have a replay booth in here, so we're relying on the big screen. And the one replay that we saw, it looked like it's going to be tough for them to overturn it.
if this play stands up, that'll be the third turnover by Franks today, the second fumble. He's got an interception as well. It will be Georgia's ball on the 1 yard line as Tay Crowder pounced on it, hit the turf, and then tried to hop across the goal line for the touchdown. But if this play is held up with the call on the field, it'll be the Dogs' ball on the 1. Barbasol is offering you a chance to score big when you join the new Barbasol Shave Club. Grab your premium starter kit for just $6.99 today with the code FOOTBALL at Barbasol.com. The play is under review. Matt Leffler is the referee. John Bible is our replay official up here in the booth. And a group of 3 in Birmingham that is also taking a look at this. Yeah, that
ball's out.
That ball's loose.
That ball is out. There's no question. They just slowed it down enough so you could see in about a split second before his backside hitting the turf, that ball's coming out.
Let's go down to the sidelines. Chuck Dowdle has a different view on the Cooks Pest Control sidelines. Chuck?
Well, all the Dogs just saw what you guys saw as they had it highlighted. Here's
After
Leffler.
review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Georgia.
There you go. Let's go, Dogs.
All right, Chuck. Yeah. Well, about 42,000 of them agree with you. This half of the stadium just erupted in a roar and a cheer as Matt Leffler made the announcement. It's goal to go for the Dogs on the Gator 1. Camarda kicked him in a hole. Miko Hardman fielded a great punt that put him in the hole, and then Franks fumbled the football trying to come out of the end zone. Here we go. Dogs break the huddle. I formation. We've got Luke Ford, the tight end, at the fullback position. Holyfield, the tailback. Fromm under center. We slide the tight end, hand it to Holyfield. Oh, the Gators come around the edge and bring him down. But check a flag first. They may have been offsides because Zuniga got around there quickly to tackle Holyfield right at the line of scrimmage. Let's see what the penalty is. Matt Leffler thought he had the call, and then he had to turn around to one of his...
Offside on the defense. Half the distance. First down.
Well, the nose of the ball is almost touching the goal line now. That's how much they got to move it. So we'll try it again. Goal to go. Loshawn Joseph was offsides for the Gators. Ball inside the 1 for the Dogs, who lead at 20-14. Trying to go up a couple of scores here. Same formation. Holyfield the tail. Ford is the fullback. Move the tight end, Warner, from left to right. Fromm takes the snap, gives it to Holyfield. Ooh, did he get there? I don't know. At left guard, they came around and tackled him from behind. No gain. Zuniga, same thing. Came around the right edge, right down the line of scrimmage, and made the stop on Holyfield. We'll try it on second down. We didn't get in that time.
Boy, at this point, the Gators, obviously, everything going all out. Joseph jumping the snap. Zuniga's jumping the snap as well. I'd put this in the hands of Jake Fromm and quarterback sneak and end it.
All right, they put the ball. We lost a couple of inches maybe. Gilliard, Kinley, Mays, the guards. Fromm, toss it to Swift. He's running this way. He hesitates. They eat him up at the 3. We lost yardage on the play. We ran a toss sweep to Swift. He tried to cut back in inside a block of Baker on the left side, and that did not work so well as the Gators, with Luke Ancrum and Joseph, the linebacker, force us back to the 2.5. We're just inside the 3. It's 3rd and goal from right there. We've got to get in.
Boy, no doubt about it. We're just sniffing the goal line there. You could just taste it, and we're going backwards.
Well, that probably, Z, eliminates what you were talking about, this quarterback sneak. We'll go into the shotgun at just inside the 3. Fromm to throw it to the left side. Went to Holloman, incomplete. Flag down.
Boy, we're going to catch a break right there. That's going to be defensive pass interference. We're going to get the ball back now, again at the goal line.
McWilliams battling Holloman for Florida. Might be on him, C.J. McWilliams.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 12. Half the distance. Automatic. First down.
Dogs catch a break there. That was pretty good defense by McWilliams, but we catch a break. Now, 3 more shots at it.
This is the hardest yard in the history of college football. And now Florida's sideline has a flag on the far side, dropped at the 21. They're having to push some of the coaching staff back on the Gators sideline. That's Dan Mullen. He's lost the visor, a la Steve Spurrier. They've dropped the flag over there. I don't know if it's a sideline warning or if it's going to be
After
unsportsmanlike.
the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct against the Florida coach. Half the distance. It will be first down. That is Florida's coach. First unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
Ball's on the 1. First and goal again for Georgia. We didn't have much luck that first go around. Let's see if we can just jam this thing in right now. 2:19 to go in the quarter. It's 20-14 Georgia. The Dogs are trying to add some more to their side of the scoreboard. We break the huddle. I formation. Holyfield's the tail. Werner tight end on the left side. We try the quarterback sneak and just try to push. We try to push. No sign yet, and there won't be a sign. They're going to mark it down inside the 1, shy of the goal line still.
Do it again. Gators have got their ears pinned back. They are going after it. Jake Fromm may have gotten poked in the eye
Yeah,
as
I
well.
think they jammed something right through his face mask. He's trying to shake it off. He's grabbing at his face mask. See, we've seen that before in this game.
Yeah, there's no question. I'd line up and go do it again.
Second and goal inside the 1. Gators do not want to relent. The Dogs want to jam it in there. Here's Holyfield in the tail. And Fromm again takes the snap. We try to push him across. He was up very high. I don't know if he got in. I don't think he did. He got up too high. Needs to be a little bit lower. Drive in there. He got up high with his body, and Florida's defense stood him up and kept him out again. Third and goal, inches away.
I'm not sure where the football is right now, but you're right. He got stood straight up. It looked like the surge may have got him, man. But this thing is on the inch line. Just man on man, the ball is on the goal line.
Oh, jeez. Third and goal, inches away. This is like our 7th try. I formation. Holyfield tries to sky in there. They grab his legs and keep him out again. We still didn't get in. Zuniga grabbed our legs from behind. Now it's a man check. You kick a field goal.
I don't kick a field goal. I go for it.
You got to get it in there. Nope.
We're kicking it.
Here comes the field goal unit. Well, that's a moral victory for Florida, provided that we make the 3.
Yeah,
We had the ball on the 1 or inside it about 8 tries and couldn't get it in.
one of the best defensive stands that you're ever going to see. Give Florida credit right there. They just took it to us.
This will be a 18-yard field goal try from just north of the near hash, and Blankenship, as you would expect, boots it through there. But that needed to be 7 and not 3, but we'll take the 3 and lead it by 9 now. It's Georgia 23 and Florida 14 in this ball game. Jake Fromm, 13 of 17, 164 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Felipe Franks for Florida, 9 of 13, 85 yards, a touchdown and a pick. He's fumbled it twice. The Dogs lead it 23-14, 7:6 to go in the third quarter. Oh, that took a lot out of me.
That took a lot out of everybody. Hopefully it didn't damage the Dogs' psyche offensively.
Here's Blankenship to kick it away. Long end over end, spinning kick. That'll be another touchback. Checks up in the back left corner of the end zone. Officials blow the whistle. The touchback will give the Gators the ball at the 25 with 7 seconds to go in the quarter. Georgia Power brings the energy for every game day and to your community too. Visit georgiapower.com/sports to learn more.
I'm out of breath. I wasn't even playing. I wasn't even talking. I'm out of breath.
A yard, less than a yard. Okay, move on. We got 3 out of it. We lead by 9. First and 10, Gators at the 25. They hand it off to Scarlett. We had a guy in the backfield trying to drag his legs down. He kept running. He got back to the line of scrimmage, I think. Crowder was the guy who came around the left edge and got hands on him.
That's the end of the third quarter.
He didn't get past the line of scrimmage, though. We had a horde of red shirts converge on him. Grant and Rice, the linebackers, helped make that stop for no gain. And as you heard Matt Leffler say, that's the end of quarter number 3. on their own 25-yard line. Fans are dedicated to your team, and Rocket Mortgage is dedicated to you, because when it comes to buying a home, the right way should be the only way. Rocket Mortgage, proud mortgage partner of Georgia Athletics. Gator offense up at the line of scrimmage. Dogs defense ready to go. 4 down lineman. Franks is back in the shotgun for Florida. Snap to Franks. Play fake. Takes a long look at it. Now rolls naked to the right. Got a lot of running room. 25, 30, 35, 40, and tiptoes out of bounds at the 45. We had defenders still going with receivers on that side of the field, and Franks was just running there with them. He got a long run on an easy run up to the 45-yard line. 20-yard gain. 1st and 10 for the Gators.
Dogs showed cover 2, but actually went man underneath, which is why once he got outside, there was nobody to stop him. We were running with Florida Gators there, and he was off to the races.
They bring Emory Jones, the freshman quarterback, into the ball game. That's the Gators' longest run from scrimmage today, and it belongs to Franks, the quarterback. He goes out. Now Jones comes in. Every time he's been in, he's run it like that Wildcat quarterback. Now he's calling the play. Play clock down to 4. There's the snap. He'll fake the pass, take it, and run to the left. He's got a seam across the 50 into Georgia territory to the 48, upended by J.R. Reed, our safety. And we'll see where they spot the ball at the 48. That about a 7-yard gain. Really closer to the 47.
Dogs again in a too-high safety look. The problem that we've been having in that too-high safety look is we end up with 4 down defensive linemen, and we're losing contain. When we're getting to single safety, we walk both outside linebackers up like we are here. We've got 5 guys at the point of attack.
Split backfield for the Florida offense. Jones stays in, play fake. They're going to let him throw. He's going to unleash a long one, far sideline, deep downfield, and it is. There's a flag. Did he catch the ball? No, the ball's out, but there's a flag down.
Boy, I thought it was a great play.
Did he catch it?
I thought it was a great play by Tyson Campbell. Got his hand up. He made contact a split second early, but got his arm in there. Saw where the
pass interference. Defense, number 3. 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Van Jefferson caught it, and then we ripped it out. So it was incomplete, but as you heard Matt Leffler, the referee, say 15-yard penalty on Georgia for pass interference. So that will move the Gators down close to the Georgia 30. They shouldn't put the ball down on about the 32-yard line, and they do. 1st and 10 Florida. Gators trying to answer quickly. Franks is back in at quarterback now for Florida. They're moving left here in the 4th quarter with the lights on here at the stadium. Franks in the shotgun. Tony goes in motion to the right. Fake it on the run. Throw it out to Tony in the right flat. He tries to make Reed miss. And then he breaks away from 2 other guys. Reed had him, and then one of our other defenders knocked Reed off the tackle. Tyler Clark is the guy that came in and made his contact, and his presence felt. But they get Tony down at the 33, maybe the 32-yard line. It looked like where they spotted the ball, he lost about a half a yard or so. So it'll be 2nd down, 10.5 now for the Gators.
Yeah, great read there by J.R. Reed. You'd like to see him make that tackle, but still great recognition to get up and hit Tony a couple yards deep in the backfield.
He was trying to make that tackle. Big number 52 came barreling in there and knocked him off. But we got him down for a loss anyway. 2nd, 10.5 for the Gators on the Dogs' 32-yard line. Frank's going to take it on the shotgun snap and run it to the left. He dives over the 30. That's actually where he'll fall down. He jumped in the air from about the 32-yard line and goes to the turf at the 30. Jawan Taylor on the stop along with Julian Rochester. The gain is only 2 or so. 3rd down and 8 for Florida on the Dogs' 30-yard line.
Florida having success on that play for the most part just by alignment. Again, we give up contain by alignment, trying to get there with linebackers, but we're 3 or 4 yards deep in the backfield.
Dogs defense shuffling around. Florida 4 out of 9 on 3rd down tries. Here's a 3rd and 8 from the Dogs 30. Snap to Franks. He's going to hand it off to Pirine. Runs straight ahead to the 25-yard line. It's going to be short of the 1st down. Malik Herring in the pile got the stop for the Dogs defense. As Pirine ran it between the tackles. Gators are going to try to reach for a field goal here on 4th and about 2.5, almost a full 3 from the Dogs 25. It should be about a 41, 42-yard try.
The wind is swirling right now. Looks like it's a crosswind blowing from the left to the right as they're kicking it.
42-yard try between the hash marks, so the angle not really a question. Evan McPherson, freshman, 11 of 12 this season on field goal tries. Kick is in the air, high, end over end, spinning towards the goalpost, and right between them, good. Wait a minute, is there a flag down? Flag on the field, hold everything. Flag on Georgia's side of the line of scrimmage. Looking against the Dogs, we'll see if the Gators take points off the board. The officials are huddling up, but there is a penalty marker down. The field goal was good. Let's get the call from Matt Leffler, the referee.
The ruling on the field is the field goal is good. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Georgia, number 52.
So will that be applied on the ensuing kickoff? That seems to be what they're going to do. That was on Tyler Clark. He's number 52. That apparently goes back to...
It's a dead ball foul, therefore it'll be enforced on the kickoff.
So there you go. Now it's 23-17 is our score. 11-12 to go in the ball game. Dogs lead after another All-State Good Hands field goal, this one by Florida. Back in a moment, Bulldog Sports Network. Here in the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth, we're going to watch Florida with they're going to have George or Jorge Powell. Spells it J-O-R-G-E. I'm not sure how he pronounces it. I'm sorry for that. Senior from Coral Gables. He's going to kick it from the 50 after the 15-yard penalty assessed against the Dogs. So he will high kick it, pooch it. We call a fair catch at the 11 or 12-yard line. Running up to make the grab is Brian Harrion on the kick coverage team. So the fair catch will put us at the 25 with the new rule in place. That's a good thing. Otherwise, we'd be sitting back there at the 12.
Yeah, there's no question about it. But really, the penalty, you never want that kind of a penalty. It gave them a lot of different options, but now it takes that pooch kick and makes it almost irrelevant.
Right now, you can come in and get exceptional offers on all BMWs in stock. Visit one of your Atlanta area BMW centers today for test drive. Proud to be the official luxury vehicle of Georgia Athletics. Visit BMWATL.com for more offer details. First and 10 from the 25. Fromm with a bootleg to the right, throws on the run and caught Ridley. Got the feet down and then hopped out of bounds just shy of the 40-yard line. Almost a full 15 yards. That's a Scana Energy first down. The Dogs on this near sideline. Nice throw to Ridley, Z, and he got the feet in.
Well, it's a good play call as well. You just come off of that goal line stand. You've got this Florida defensive front pinning their ears back and coming. So move Jake Fromm out of the pocket, get him out of harm's way, clear his throwing lane and his vision. Nice, easy throw and catch there.
23-17, Georgia leading by 6, 10:45 to go in the ball game. Shotgun snap to Fromm, will run it, and they will eat us up in the backfield. Holyfield took the handoff, and Jabari Zuniga, the junior from Marietta and Sprayberry High School, former teammates with Rodrigo Blankenship, stops Holyfield at the 39. Actually lost a little bit on the play.
Well, Zuniga right now is timing up our snap count and just getting a tremendous jump off the ball and into our backfield relentlessly.
We send Holloman and Knott out to the left. Werner and Ridley to the right. So 2 tight ends in the slots. Fromm to throw it to the left. Oh, batted down on a pass out to the left, trying to set up a screen. And it was Jeremiah Moon from that right end that batted the pass away going downfield. That could have been a disaster of massive proportions. Fortunately, he just batted it to the ground for an incompletion.
Well, Florida there goes cover 0. They brought that absolute house. If we could have gotten that completed, may have had some daylight out there. But the aggressiveness from the Florida defense as we're getting deep into this football game, clearly evident right now. They are pinning their ears back and coming.
Moon beat our left tackle, who's Kendall Baker right now after the injury to Andrew Thomas. 3rd and 10 and change from just inside our own 40 for the Dogs. Snap to Fromm. Looking. Here comes pressure from behind. He throws it. Caught downfield for a first down in Gator territory. Jeremiah Holloman having a big game here in Jacksonville. He makes the catch at the Gator 40, where are they going to put it? 46-yard line. Sean Davis made the tackle for the Florida defense. Dogs go quickly to the Gator 46.
The little things that Jake Fromm does well. Had pressure coming from his right, just moved his feet just enough.
15 yards, first down. Fromm throws it again, stripped out of the hands of Holloman this time, right around the 40, and incomplete. C.J. McWilliams and Davis again, double coverage on Holloman to strip the ball away. So it'll be 2nd and 10 now. Clock stops, 9:43 to go in the game. Georgia 23, Florida 17. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Dogs on the Gator 46-yard line.
Jake Fromm now 15 out of 21, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns on the afternoon.
4 receivers set, Swift into the backfield. Fromm in the shotgun. Work on the far hash, moving right. Hand off DeAndre Swift. Swift 40, Swift 30, Swift 25, and upended there. Running between the hash marks with reckless abandon down to the 25.5. Davis got him on the ground. Big first down for the Dogs.
Boy, got to the 2nd level finally, and with all this aggressive play, you get to the 2nd level, you're going to have a big-time run.
He broke a tackle from Steiner and then went 21 yards for the first down. Fromm going to throw it, almost picked off on the far sideline. Trying to go to Charlie Warner, the tight end. Sean Davis got in front and almost had a pick off, but he got a hand in a deflection instead. It's an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Dogs from the Gator 25.5.
Charlie Warner there just on a corner route. Looked like was going to be there. Good play by the Florida defense. Fromm will take a look at that on film, though, and see DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. Nobody around him.
2 receivers to the right in this formation, 1 to the left. Swift. No, it's Holyfield now in the backfield. And Elijah will get the carry. Bounces out to the left, trying to find some daylight. Gators cover it up, stretch it out close to the sideline, far side of the field. Holyfield brought down at the 24. Ja'Kai Polite, the junior defensive end, making the stop. Only a gain of a yard. 3rd and 9 for the Dogs from the Gator 24 now as the possession starts to slow down.
We've got an offensive lineman shaken up.
Oh, we don't need that.
Kendall Baker, boy, that position's been snake bit this afternoon.
Dogs training staff quickly out to see about Baker. And there's an injury timeout here in Jacksonville. We'll take it with them. Dogs 23, Florida 17, 9:04 to go in the game. Back after this, Bulldog Sports Network. Georgia Power brings the energy for every game day into your community too. Visit georgiapower.com/sports to learn more. Kendall Baker slowly walking to the medical tent. Andrew Thomas is back in at left tackle now. He was injured earlier in the game. So we're back to our starting lineup of Thomas, Kenley, Gilliard, Mays, and Wilson on the offensive line. It's 3rd down and 9 for the Dogs from the Florida 24. Fromm throws it for the corner of the end zone. We caught it at the 4 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Terry Godwin. Yes, indeed. Oh, that was too easy. Godwin beat his man by a couple of strides. Fromm put it right in the palm of his hands, and he scored in the right left corner of the end end zone.
We had trip formation, the corner route from Godwin from the inside slot position, had 2 slant routes underneath it, well-designed play, great protection, and you want to know the value with Jake Fromm, unbelievable composure, able to sit in there. This defense has been coming after him all the way, and he sits in there and delivers a strike on 3rd and long.
24 yards on the touchdown throw. Fromm's 3rd of the game. We're going to go for 2, 29-17. They put the ball on the 3 between the hash marks. Crumpton came into the ball game. Now we shift Swift. Fromm's in the shotgun for the 2-point conversion. We flip it over to Crumpton. Oh, they read it well and they tackle him. We tried a little misdirection with Swift going to the right, pitched the ball forward to Crumpton going left, and Florida stops the 2-point try behind the line of scrimmage. We got 6, and we lead by 12. That touchdown brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares from Atlanta to over 90 destinations you love. 29-17. Dogs lead the Gators in the 4th on the Bulldogs Sports Network. Piedmont Healthcare radio booth here in Jacksonville. Dogs 29, Gators 17. Well, the Dogs had a long time to dissect that Florida defense, and they did a nice job on the 24-yard touchdown pass from Fromm to Godwin as Blankenship will kick it away. Long, deep, end-over-end kick will be a touchback once again, landing near the back line of the end zone. It'll be the Gators' ball on their own 25 as we check our Georgia Metals drive summary. The Dogs went 75 yards in 9 plays, took 2:33 off the game clock, 24-yard TD pass from to Terry Godwin, his first catch of the ball game, I believe, and it was for a big 6 points. We went for 2 and failed on that conversion try. That's the drive summary from Georgia Metals. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. Florida on the 25, down 12 now, but a lot of time remaining. 8:39. Franks in the shotgun, 2 receivers left and 1 to the right. Franks looking. Here comes pressure from Ledbetter. Going to hang it up near sideline, and the ball incomplete. Trying to go to Jefferson, running man for man down the field on the near sideline with DeAndre Baker, who had him shadowed very well. Ledbetter got good pressure on Franks when he was unloading the football, but it's a long incompletion. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Yeah, and Ledbetter's pressure forced Felipe Franks to throw that football just a hair before he wanted to. Great coverage there by DeAndre Baker.
2nd and 10 Gators on their 25. 4-man front for the Dogs. We rush 4. Play fake. Franks stands, now runs to the right. Here comes pressure, and he just chunks it out of bounds well over the Gators bench as the Dogs. DeAndre Baker came up to get in Franks' face. DeAndre Walker, excuse me, not Baker. It's the other DeAndre. It was number 15 who's got 5 sacks this season leading the team. The Dogs fans making some noise. Half the stadium is rolling and rollicking here in Jacksonville. The other half kind of sitting on their hands right now. Their team's down 12, and they got a 3rd and 10 coming up from the 25.
And Scott, great disguise there by the Georgia secondary. They looked like they were going to go to cover 2. Right at the snap of the football, get down to the single safety and created just enough confusion to force that throw away. And Florida just moved. Good job, Georgia fans.
And an empty set.
False start. Offense, 65. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Jawan Taylor, their tackle. False start. That'll make it 3rd and 15 back at the 20 now. As half the stadium's, as you pointed out, making a lot of racket and a lot of noise, and the Gators got a little antsy, and their right tackle moved early.
Dogs in a dime defensive look right now.
They've got Baker and McGee and Reed and LeCount and Campbell and Webb Here's Franks going to throw it to the right, off the hands of the target, out of the right flat. Tyreek Cleveland tried to set up a little wide receiver screen over there. The ball was up high over Cleveland's head. He got his hands on it, just ricocheted right off his hands, incomplete.
That thing wasn't going to go anywhere even if they complete it.
Right.
Either. And for the first time today, a little bit of dejection, it looks like, from the Florida players as a few drop their head and shuffle off the field.
Yeah, they haven't had a 3-and-out all day. That's the first 3-and-out for Florida. Wow, well, that's why. That explains it. Now they'll have to punt it out of a hole. Hardman back deep to receive the punt of Tommy Townsend. He's been booming them today. This one a wobbler, going to come down, fair catch. Hardman at the 33-yard line. 8:13 to go in the ball game. 42-yard punt, no return. Dogs 29, Gators 17. Back in a moment. Bulldog Sports Network. Dog fans, whether your favorite seat is right on the 50-yard line or comes with a bird's eye view, head to StubHub, grab 100% verified tickets so you know you'll get in. StubHub, getting fans into the game for over 17 years, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Georgia Bulldogs. StubHub, Dogs ball, 1st and 10 on our 34-yard line. 8:13 remaining, Georgia 29, Florida 17. 3 receivers wide to the left. We're going to run it with Fields. He runs it straight ahead behind Kinley and Gilliard, and the Gators get Reese in there, the linebacker, to make the hit. That is Swift, excuse me. DeAndre Swift to the 37-yard line, a gain of 3.
And Dogs right now want to slow this down a little bit, control the clock, see if we can get a handful of first downs, ice this thing with a touchdown, but most importantly right now, control the clock.
And that's what they're doing right now, just standing at the line of scrimmage as the play clock ticks down under 10. And now we get down in our stances and ready to go. Hardman flip-flops from the left to right, gets in the slot on the right. We'll run it. We'll fake Swift, and Fromm will keep it. And around the right edge to the 40-yard line. That gets 3. And that'll make it 3rd and 4 for the Dogs as we continue to eat some clock, but you need to churn out some first downs too. 3rd and 4 for the Dogs from our own 40. Joseph made that tackle on Fromm after he faked it to Swift and kept it around the right end.
Yeah, Joseph was just on an outside stunt, ran right into that play, unfortunately for the Dogs, because the normal read for Fromm was exactly right. He would have had some running space.
2 backs in the backfield, split backfield with Harrion and Holyfield. Fromm stands in the shotgun. Drops back in the pocket, throws out to Ridley on the right side. Ridley makes a man miss in Gator territory near sideline and knocked out of bounds at the 38-yard line. That's a gain of 22 for Riley Ridley. There's the first down you needed. He got away from C.J. McWilliams, and then Taylor forced him out of bounds on the Georgia sideline at the Gator 38.
Boy, indeed it was. Just a quick hitch on the outside where he was manned up. Catches it with some space to run, puts a nice move on one Gator defender. The Dogs smelling it now.
You bet. Second catch of the day for Ridley. Dogs on the Florida 38-yard line, letting that clock melt away. 6:15, 6:14. Play clock at 5. Fromm back in the shotgun. Play clock at 3, at 2, at 1. There's the snap. Handoff Holyfield. Holyfield bounces out right tackle, and inside the 35 down to the 33-yard line. Voshan Joseph, the linebacker, makes the stop for the Gator defense. But again, more positive yards and more time off that clock with Florida trailing by 12.
And we don't have this stat in front of us, but yards after contact when Holyfield's been running the football today, it's like every time he gets touched, he's just powering forward for 3 more yards.
He got 6 that time. 2nd down and 4. Maybe closer to 5, looking at the yard markers across the way. The ball's on the Gator 33 or just inside. Gilliard, the center, up over the ball. Back in the shotgun is Fromm. 3 receivers set. Holyfield stays in the backfield. He'll get another carry. Elijah runs right into the back of our big tackle, Isaiah Wilson, and bounces back a step or two. And then the Gators, David Reese, comes in there to make the stop at the 34. We lost yardage. Holyfield ran into the back of his own lineman and bounced backwards, and that gave the Gators time to get in there and make the stop. Ball back on the 33, loss of 1. It'll be another third down now for the Dogs. Third down, about 5.5. Under 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Georgia 29, Florida 17. Georgia letting clock tick down. Play clock under 10 now. 7 for 13. Our numbers on third down conversion tries today. We need one here. Handoff Swift. He hesitates, finds a hole. Swift, 25-20, far sideline, 15, 10, 5. Get in there. Yeah! Touchdown, DeAndre Swift.
Boy, it has been a long time coming since we've seen a run like that get to the second level against all those Gators up in the box. Found a super small crease and able just to jet through that thing. Great patience, found his way, and then once he hit the secondary, you weren't going to catch him. Dogs putting ice on this one.
Solomon Kinley, our big left guard, loving it. He was just celebrating by himself in solitude, back about 40 yards behind the play, just pumped up, fist pumping in the air, loving what he saw, created a hole for Swift. He did the rest as the Dogs will try the extra point. Blankenship's kick is up and good. The streak continues there. And there's some much needed breathing room for the Georgia Bulldogs. 36-17 on the 33-yard touchdown run by DeAndre Swift. That touchdown sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares from Atlanta to over 90 destinations you love. 36-17. Let me say it again. As the Dogs care provider of the Georgia Bulldogs. Swift with a 33-yard touchdown run.
And that run, over 100 yards now, 12 rushes for DeAndre Swift, 104 yards, 8.7 per carry. Holyfield, good hard running today, 55 yards on the ground.
Blankenship's kick in the far left corner of the end zone, bounces over the back line, touchback. And the Dogs will go play defense again here with 4:29 to go in this ball game. Dogs on the verge of 2 in a row in the series as Swift has a season best 104 yards. That's a team best, actually. We only had one 100-yard game rushing this season from an individual, and that was Elijah Holyfield, who had an even 100 earlier this year against Middle Tennessee. Franks will play fake and throw to the near side. That's caught by Morrell Stevens out on this left edge, and he's tackled quickly at the 28 by Tyreek McGee and Tyson Campbell. Clock running at 4:15, 4:14. The Gators are down 19 points with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Ball on their 29-yard line. Second down and about 6. They got 4 on that last play. Play fake Franks in the pocket. He stands there. He fires over the middle. It's caught between the hash marks by Trayvon Grimes around the 38-yard line. Hit first by Richard LeCount and then put on the ground by Tyson Campbell. They're going to spot the ball at the 39. It's a 10-yard gain and a first down for the Gators. Clock stopped just for a moment. Now it's moving again, under 3:50 to play. Franks takes the snap, hands off to Perine. Starts to the right, bounces back to the left. He cuts back between the hashes up to the 45 before he's brought down by the safety J.R. Reed and the cornerback Tyreek McGee.
The Dogs right now wanting to keep this football in front of them. No big plays. Mixing up some coverages. We'll probably see some more too-high safety looks for sure coming down the stretch.
Second down and 4 for the Gators on their own 45 as we near 3 minutes to go here in Jacksonville. Franks back to pass, empty set, pump fakes, pressure. He'll go down back back on the 39-yard line. Julian Rochester from Powder Springs just powdered his nose right on the turf at the 39-yard line. And that'll take us to our Nissan sack update, brought to you by Nissan Intelligent Mobility. Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway. That's our first sack of the game, and it's a big one. It comes here with 2:47 to go. It's 3rd down and 10 now. The Gators back on their own 39-yard line. They lost 6 yards.
Julian Rochester almost got to him on the previous play. That time stays after it and gets him one.
4 receivers set for the Gators. Snap to Franks. Play fake to Perine. He'll throw it out to the near side to Kroll. Lucas Kroll, one of the tight ends, a redshirt sophomore from Kansas, made the catch, forced out of bounds by Tyson Campbell at the 45-yard line. Short of the first down. It's 4th and 4 for the Gators. He got 6 on the play. Gators with one final attempt here to keep the possession alive, but they trail by way too much. 2:15 to go in the game. It's 36-17 Georgia.
Still, let's go ahead and end it right now. Get them off the field and celebrate.
I think about 42,000 fans agree with you here in this stadium. Perine runs out into the left flat in motion. Franks empty set now in the shotgun. They snap it to him on the near hash. Fires, rifles to the right side. Off the hands of the intended target, Tony, and incomplete. Ball goes over on downs to Georgia. The Dogs will have the ball with 1:50 to go. And Z, now you can begin to celebrate.
There's no question of the Georgia fans, every single one of them, 42,000 strong on their feet. And there's more Georgia fans on the far side of the stadium right now than Gator fans. We kind of took over that side. Now let's just see how many Georgia fans are on the far side of the stadium.
Dogs take over on the Florida 45-yard line. 1:50 to go. Our 4th quarter recap presented by Ag South and Ag Georgia Farm Credit, loans for land and farm. The Dogs in the 4th quarter with 2 major scores. Terry Godwin's 24-yard touchdown catch from Jake Fromm and DeAndre Swift's 33-yard touchdown run have sealed this victory. The Dogs will give it to Holyfield. He'll bounce out to the left, to the 40, to the 38. He had one-on-one out there, and it was almost as if he was giving the guy a chance. C.J. McWilliams makes the tackle at the Gator 37-yard line, a pickup of 8. The Dogs are more concerned about clock than scoreboard at this point. They've got this one sealed up with 90 seconds to go.
Yeah, no question. Good tackle by McWilliams on the outside, but Holyfield more interested in staying in bounds and putting any kind of move on him for sure.
Dogs let the clock tick down. Up to the line of scrimmage right now. Play clock at 13. Game clock says 1:14, and it's moving south. Fromm surveys the Florida defense. Man in motion is Ridley. Handed off to Holyfield. Bounces out left. 35, 30. Twisting inside the 30 down to the 29, 28 maybe. Boshawn Joseph makes another tackle for the Gator defense. He's made a bunch of them. Less than a minute to go. Celebration beginning here in the old Gator Bowl location. Georgia fans on their feet. A jubilant crowd of 40s. Jubilant. My wife told me I said that wrong. Jubilant crowd of 42,000 Georgia fans, maybe a little bit more than that, begin to celebrate. And Georgia may take one more snap. They'll have to, and then that'll be the ball game. 34 seconds to go in the game. Play clock at 8. Victory formation. Jake Fromm takes the snap. He went wire to wire at quarterback. He cradles that ball, takes a knee, and that's going to be the ball game. Jake Fromm with a ball in his left hand, shaking Gators' hands now as the field empties, or the bench is empty onto the fields. Georgia will win this ball game as the final 10 seconds click away. 36-17. The Dogs have made it 2 in a row, and they stay in contention for that Eastern Division championship as they start thinking about Kentucky next week up in Lexington, and that will be a major contest for this Georgia team that fought valiantly today, took advantage of some Florida mistakes, numerous turnovers by the Gators, and the Dogs get it done with a strong second half, 36-17.
Boy, do they ever. And then you take a look at the stats, and this was a hard-fought football game. Pretty much the entire contest, but you look at the final stats. Total yards for the Dogs, 429. The Gators only 275 yards. Georgia through the air, 240. The Gators only 105. And then on the ground, the Dogs 189. The Gators 170. 100 of those came in the first half, only 70 in the second half. Pretty well played game, a clean game, only 4 penalties for the Dogs. And what a big victory and sweet taste of victory as well after that loss in Baton Rouge.
3 turnovers by Florida today, all by the Gators quarterback. 1 interception and 2 fumbles by Felipe Franks. Georgia did not turn the ball over 1 single solitary time, and the Dogs outrushed the Gators 189 to 170, as you pointed out. And the players now will rush to the left end zone, the north end zone here at the stadium in Jacksonville. They'll start climbing up and over the wall and celebrating with the Georgia fans that remain, and it's most of them that have remained here in the stadium. Meanwhile, Florida begrudgingly walking slowly, dejectedly off the field to the far northeast corner of the end zone in front of their band. They do the post-game thing with the band. They could care less about that right now, I guarantee you that. They just lost to the Dogs 36-17. Georgia now 7-1 on the year, 5-1 in the SEC. Florida drops to 6-2 and 4-2 in the Southeastern Conference, and the Dogs have the Wildcats on the Bluegrass next Saturday in Lexington. We'll continue. Plenty more to go. You'll want to hear from the coach in the locker room after the game. Our post-game coverage is straight ahead here on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network.